This Sunday in the Great White North, opportunity, rivalries, legacies, grudges, they all forge ahead to see who will claim their dynasty from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. And this is simply predicting All Elite Wrestling, AEW Dynasty. Welcome, everybody, to the discussion. Hello, everybody, and welcome back here once again to another edition of Simply Predicting. You know what this is, for I am the Simple Man of the Simple Brand, the voice of the rest for great for all things professional wrestling. Damn it. And my name is Noel Foster. So thank you all for tuning in, whether live or on demand. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, super chat or PayPal the passions, it's as simple as that. We have a fantastic 6 tonight to discuss this wonderful card. So let's go ahead and introduce to you who you get to here tonight, simply predict, and bring maybe some foresight and maybe future booking. First and foremost, one half of the Canadian connection. He is the Canadian king of food, eh? And I don't mean just poutine. He's also a great contributor to Simple Lab Studios' latest ventures on our interviews, including connecting us with Pro Racing Symphony's Kyle McKenna, along with others. You can follow him at Nick Belief on the X. You see on his handle right there. None other, but shout out to the missus as well. Nick Ferrantes. Nick, how are you this fine evening? How you feel about AEW Dynasty this weekend?
Oh, Canada, we are guard for the... I don't even know my own anthem. But this is my hometown, damn it. This is my country. We about getting going. Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things whether you're Canadian or American. If you don't know your own national anthem, even you have to question your own citizenship. But you know what? Nonetheless, thank you, Nick. Also, damn it, you're a freaking idiot. Okay. And we'll come back to him later. Also here, one half of the MVPs, the VIPs, of course, the biggest super chat contributors, the one half of the Dominguez. As Arlene continues to pursue higher education, all the best to her. Emmanuel, how are you this evening? How you feeling AEW Dynasty?
It's gonna be interesting pay-per-view. I know some of the matches is gonna be a good card, like good matches. Like it's one of those things like what's gonna happen in between the storylines. Because I just notified that the programming has been so it just makes me wonder like how they're gonna try to improve and make it a worthy pay-per-view for those AEW lawyers and supporters. So I'm intrigued what they have in store to improve this product.
No, that's fair. And again, with AEW, you know you're always getting more bang for your buck. No pun intended. And also, again, it's a dynamic card. Get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything. And why the guy on the left of me gave you 250 different ways to enjoy not shrimp from Forrest Gump, but potatoes during our stand deliver call. I expect him to stand deliver in his predictions tonight. Maybe not his score, but maybe his outlook. But it wouldn't be something predicting without my cohort in the studio that is just as reliable as Mr. Reliable, the Renegade Wrestling himself, CEO of Cassidy Studios, JJ Williams. And thank you, by the way, for those that tuned in earlier to JJ and crew for our interview with Jocelyn Navarro as we prepare for Podamania, of course, next week. Further details to come out, of course, at the end of the stream. JJ, how are you? How you feel about AEW Dynasty?
I'm good. I'm here. I'm looking forward to it. Not as much as I'm looking forward to the shenanigans for next week that I'll be attending a lot of in person, but still looks like it'll be a solid card. We love you too, Nick.
You know what? There's nothing but love here. There's nothing but criticism, including a man that always seems to pop out of a manacle before midnight here when it comes to Cindy Bedid. As you just saw him on camera for a moment. Might be the only moment tonight. Yes, it's going to follow you for the rest of your life. But it's always a pleasure to have my fellow gamer, Charles Schultz. Charles, how you feel about AEW Dynasty?
One, damn you again, Noah. That's number one.
Hey, Charles, we should all be able to see your face. You're such a beautiful face.
Okay.
Come on.
All right, look. The Avatar man has his perspective like Batman can't even be trusted. That's a whole different question. But anyway, Charles, how you feel about Dynasty? Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, for now. Doing good. And I've barely been able to keep up with Dynamite, so I'm mostly going to this blind as a bat.
Yeah, it might play in your favor for all we know, considering next week you literally will be in the land of the wild card. So I'm curious to see what you predict. So again, good to have you. And welcoming for the first time ever to Simply Predicting, certainly not last, but just because he's special. He's Gavin. He's chatting. He's also all elite. He's a great friend, of course, of me and Papa Gino as we do Major Points Wrestling together. He covers the ones and twos there. I, of course, do that here. For the first time ever, please welcome the Oof Man. Oof, how are you? Welcome to Simply Predicting and welcome to AEW Dynasty. What a debut for you. How are you, my friend? Wait and see. Look at that face. That's a stone face right there.
Just stoic.
Look at it. He's just staring at us.
It's like he's staring. It's like he's staring a hole into it. Oh, there he is.
Winning the technical award.
Step out and say, congratulations. You win the Superman's Award for technical difficulties, but it's still good. You gave us a great moment there. So, again, you're going to fit in perfectly.
There we go. Look at that.
All right. So, we got latency,
souls,
folks. We're live, pal.
Excited to be here.
All right. There we go. Wow. He went Microman for a moment. Oopman, just a heads up. Might want to check your stuff. All right. With that being said, folks, it's going to be another fun time as always. So I think without further ado, Simply community, professional wrestling fans, all elite goers,
We're live.
Yeah, exactly. Sickos, casuals, hardcore, and 25 delay latency participants. Let's get right into it. So again, this weekend we'll cover AEW Dynasty. Comes to us from the Great White North in Vancouver, Canada. Here are the various ways you can watch it, including for the first time ever on MyAEW and select international markets. Of course, we'll be presenting here at the Super Labo Studios, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start time on Sunday evening. That is, of course, April 12th. As, of course, we will bring you into the entire pay-per-view alongside so much else this weekend. Of course, here in America, we use HBO Max, but you see your various outlets, of course. We got a fun card on hand, and it could lead to some unique developments ahead of Double or Nothing. We know one match literally guarantees a summon for Double or Nothing, face to Don Callis and the Don Callis family agenda. But we also know there's another agenda, and shout out to our Canadian friend, Ash, the other half of the Canadian connection. Father Dad Bad for Wrestling. Ash, wish you were here, but I know priorities are fashions. Thank you so much for being part of the chat. Speaking of developments going on in All Elite Wrestling, there's a war on our hands, interpromotional possibly, between the United Empire and the Death Riders. Crowns up. So we're going to talk a little bit about this match that could have a little bit of cause and effect for a bigger match later. Let's start with Alex Windsor versus The Problem, Marina Shafir, for the first time ever. Straight up, by the way, I will also warn you all right now, I have zero spoilers for AEW Collision because I am hashtag spoiler free. So again, as always, predictions are not final. They are not final until you submit them on the form that we have available once the stream concludes on my social media in the comment section down below. We have Alex Windsor versus Marina Shafir for the first time ever in the engaged war that has developed between the Death Riders and United Empire. After the scuffle that happened, and Ash, if you are home and want to join this soiree for a lucky 7, you're more than welcome to. And again, Nick, if you don't mute yourself, I'm going to drop you. As I was saying, it's all right. We're live, pal.
I shot her the link.
It's all good. Thank you. Alex Windsor, of course, going up against Marina Shafir for the first time ever in singles action, current NWW Strong Women's champion. And Oopman, wise idea, brother. Again, folks, it's all free and form fun here, but sometimes I do question why I do this. We, of course, saw the brawl start to ensue at the beginning of Dynamite this past Wednesday, continue to ensue during Chaos in Canada, where I will tell you that the United Empire did get the better of the Death Riders. Straight up, it's a first-time ever singles matchup that could develop into a further feud, possibly with Alex Windsor and maybe with Andrew Strong Women's Championship. With Marina Shafir, of course, having her first ever pay-per-view match singles-wise against timeless Toni Storm at Revolution. In a losing effort, we've seen what sort of threat Shafir can impose in and out of a match. And of course, we know the Continental Championship, seconds aren't involved at ringside. So I do wonder who has more to gain in this, in victory or defeat. Can the Problem surprise us? Does the Problem have a solution to Alex Windsor? Or does Windsor, this brawling bird, hit her hard enough that she is not a factor in the further ongoing war with the Death Riders in this equation? Let's go around the horn and see what you all think about this opening bout. And I will start first and foremost with JJ, we're going to go clockwise. As you all know, it's the predicting based on the quantity of the card and the quantity of the panel. Sometimes we do a dissertation of one person agree or disagree. But I think with the fact that this card for once has a very nice under number, we should be able to go around the horn and get everybody's thoughts fairly. JJ, you kick things off. Alex Windsor, Marina Shafir, you know Mrs. Bruv. You also know about the problem, where the violence reduced violence. You, of course, will likely see Marina Shafir at Bloodsport, part of your shenanigans live during WrestleMania week. Again, have a great safe time in the City of Sin. What do you think about this singles grudge match?
Well, first things first, Ash, I sent you the link both on X and Facebook. If you want to join us, you have the way.
Thank you for that.
I don't know what to think about this because I feel like Collision is going to play heavily into what happens here. And unfortunately, we haven't seen Collision yet.
Nope, that'll be Saturday.
There's part of me that really wants to go with Marina because, like I said last month, she needs these wins. You know, if we're supposed to take her seriously, she needs the dub. But it's Alex Windsor. You know, I don't think they're going to have her losing. I don't think both Brawling Birds are going to lose. I think one of them has to get a dub. And unfortunately, Thekla is not losing her title. Spoiler alert for when we get there for me. So I think Windsor's going to pick up the dub here.
All right. So we got one for Alex Windsor. And of course, just recently lost the Brett Undisputed Women's Cruiserweight Championship to Alexis Falcon. Congratulations to her. Dave bringing his thoughts up. And of course, Dave also part of the All Elite League, saying that Shafir is winning. So let's see what the rest of the panel think. Nick, what do you think about this? Alex Windsor and the Bruv working together. United Empire on full display with the exception of Great Low Khan. All hail. But this could lead to something interesting, I would say. I don't think this is going to be a one-off, but do you think that Alex Windsor has a solution to the problem?
Honestly, I am gonna go against JJ, and I think Marina is gonna win. You know, this can play out into a bigger story, and realistically, I don't really think there's any challengers lined up for her New Japan Women's Championship, is there? I don't think so.
Yes, there is. And before I say that, talking about Shinny on Pro Wrestler, it is my best friend in Shinny on Pro Wrestler. It is our young punk. It is our baddie friend. The other half of the Canadian Connections here, so this is going to be definitely interesting. Ash has joined us to the predicting. Hello, Ash. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Just finished a game of Monopoly with my mom.
Ooh,
man. Well, we'll talk more about that later, whether or not you bankrupt or actually you profited off of her. And again, I will destroy you if we ever play that. But it's good to have you here. And so far that we have a 50-50 ballot. So thank you for that, Nick. So that being said, from one half to Canadian Connection, nice job, by the way. Let's go to the other half. Hello, Ash. Alex Windsor, for those that don't know, by the way, will be engaged during WrestleMania week at Stardom Green Kingdom that we will be covering, of course. She will be defending her WWE Strong Women's Championship against Stardom's Saya Ida, third generation ultimate powerhouse of the Stardom roster. And she is part of Empress Nexus Venus. Stars. I'm looking very forward to that match of strong style. That being said, Ash, go ahead and let your foster this. Alex Windsor, Marina Shafir, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm just like, who needs this win more? Like, because Marina Shafir having some losses, but at the same time, we got to build up Alex Windsor's momentum as well. Has she had any wins yet, singles wins yet?
Which one, Shafir or Windsor?
For Alex Windsor, I haven't been following up with her.
She's mostly just been a brawling bird in AEW, but got a major win at Pro Wrestling Eve Queendom 8 when she beat Suri for the Strong Women's Championship. That was her last big singles match and singles win.
Okay, and she's the Strong Women's Champion, yes?
That's correct. ...
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think who...
Gears are turning.
Yeah, I know. I think Marina Shafir should get some wins, keep some momentum going for the Death Riders, because they don't really have that much momentum going right now, other than Moxley being the Title champion.
Very good. I've been
Yay, I
following you.
remembered.
I love when she has those moments. All right. So that being said, we got 2-1. Nick, I do see I cannot acknowledge you, but you got to say real quick before we go to Charles.
No, I just wanted to say that if I feel this match will play into Willow going into Double or Nothing.
That's an interesting thought right there out of left field, considering there's other developments right now in the women's division that have me wondering, particularly about Willow and TBS Championship. But definitely be a different direction than I'm thinking. But of course, Double or Nothing being the show that started the AEW brand, of course, that will be in May. We already know one match will lead to developments, no matter what the case. So I do see what you mean. All right.
Well, Noah, you mentioned a different direction. There is more than one direction.
That is very true. And
You don't know you're beautiful.
Fuck boy bands. Charles, go ahead and lend your thoughts towards this conversation. What you got? Alex Windsor or Marina Shafir?
Quick, before the night changes.
Damn it!
Story of his life, huh?
It's gonna be one of those nights.
Listen,
Marina.
when the night it comes, you can just stand on me.
Charles' prediction now before I take people off the air.
I'm siding with JJ now. I was gonna change that first until we made that reference on me, but I'm siding with him for this. So I'm going when I was winning. You still ain't shit.
Well, that was a hell of a way to end that. And the Oofman remains unamused. Again, look at the stare. Look at that. Just blank.
Looks like he's just staring at a hole
It looks
in
like
your
one of those
skull.
robots from iRobot. Like, honestly, it's like just one of those droids with no human emotion.
The stare. You keep staring at it long enough, you're going to probably a black hole. You don't want to go away.
Or
We
a
love you.
commercial break.
We love you, Oof. We're just fucking around.
Yeah, again, Oof, man, nothing but love here, but I think technology is telling you something different here tonight, brother. That being said, speaking of being interactive, of course, the creator of interactive games and movies, Manuel, I will also say this. I'm going with Windsor because it's Windsor. I don't think it's going to be a one-off. And again, with Shafir, she doesn't have to win. She just has to knock her out. At the end of the day, make it personal against somebody else in the card. Bruv. Or do I need to remind you what happened at Thomas Toy Storm post-match at Revolution that you saw live? Lucky damn you. That being said, Emmanuel, I also went with Alex Windsor. So where do you stand on this conversation, this opening bout?
All I have to say is what a difference between the pay-per-views. Marina Shafir went to Tony Storm to in the main card to pre-show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, hindsight. Yeah.
One thing about that, if Ronda wasn't going to show up, she probably would have been on the 0 hour there too.
Hindsight, but hey, it's the second singles match in a row on pay-per-view. You take the victory when you can. Even I can put a positive spin on things. Anyway, continue, Emmanuel.
Yeah, so it's like one of those like good old advocates. And until Ronda Rousey comes back, I think I have to give it to Alex Windsor as well. Like I agree with you guys. Like she really deserves this win, and like build up more of the women's side because Tony's not going to be here for a while. This is a great opportunity to expand the division more. So hopefully with this win, it'll make her more credible. Because if she loses, it's like, okay, like that's fine. Like she loses with a bad effort, but wins is what you remember most of, not the loss. You know how you lose. So for me, Alex Windsor needs to win this.
All right, fair enough. So most of us are going at Mrs. Bruv, but some of us believe that Mrs. Bruv might have the problem on her hands more than we think. I might be more to handle. All right. Good job, everybody. Yes, JJ, I see you. Okay, what you got to say real quick?
Nothing regarding the match. Just I got a message from Oof.
Please.
Unfortunately, he doesn't know what's going on, so he's not going to try to come back. I told him, no worries, brother. There will be plenty more opportunities. He knows that he's always got a seat available on Simply Predicting if he wants it. But just wanted to let you know he's not going to be trying to pop in again. Plus, he did tell me he has work tomorrow morning, so
yeah,
he didn't know how long he'd be able to stay anyway.
Priorities are our passions, and sometimes Gavin can take you farther than you think. And shout out to Gavin for Oof. Follow him on YouTube. And Oofman, I will definitely see you down the road, either with Papagino or you're always welcome on this platform, in this family, and on this show. Thank you again so much, though, for bringing us a great laugh and a great meme just with that expression. This is the face you make when you feel about this about WWE.
The face Noah makes when me and freaking Nick and Emmanuel and Charles fuck with him. Let's just call it what it is.
Or just, something.
Something!
Speaking of that face.
Accurate. Also accurate. Also, you fucking idiot. All right.
Oh, you love it, Noah. You love it.
A love-hate relationship that's going to exist then, now, and forever with you yahoos and me. I'll just leave it at that. All right.
Charles, you want to talk about loving it? Just wait until Saturday when Noah gets to do wrestling karaoke.
Oh, wow, that's going to be great to watch.
Damn it. All right. Well, that's a problem I can't escape. But that being said, hi, guys. Guess what, JJ? You just made the fucking list. Because Chris Jericho has officially signed to AEW, and he's in a match against Ricochet. Straight up, folks, this past Wednesday, Chris Jericho signed the dotted line back to AEW, but Ricochet wanted to spoil the moment. And you know what happens when you get in Chris Jericho's face and you spoil the moment? You know what happens when Jericho knows that he may not be able to keep up like this young longevity of this roster, but knows he can put a bald man in his place? Do you know what happens? He freaking signs your name on a contract and says you just made the list with the billboard having Jericho on the back. To have the list back would be actually hilarious, even if it was just our one-off. But straight up, Ricochet wanted to demand the segment, so now we'll see if he demands this match. It's a straight-up one-on-one match, folks. It's as simple as that. But it's also Chris Jericho's first match coming back to All Elite Wrestling, and he has literally been gone since last year Dynasty after losing to Bandito, the Ring of Honor World Championship. So, does Chris Jericho still got it? Or does Ricochet demand this stage at the expense of insert nickname here? The Old Show, the friggin' Wizard, the Learning Tree. Okay, maybe we don't say that name here. Mr. Intervention, Light Up Jacket, Light Bright, you name it. He's done it, etc., etc. Now it's just all purple, Jericho all caps. What the heck are we going to expect for this? What does it lead to? And has Ricochet officially entered the Jericho Vortex, as people like to say? Let's go around the horn and see what you all think. How fitting I talk about a Canadian in a match and I go to a Canadian to start. Hi, Ash. What do you think about this match? Chris Jericho versus Ricochet. Does Jericho win his first match out? Or is this one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm here. Ricochet, don't give a damn. He spirit guns him back into obliviousness. Go ahead.
So my feelings on this match is it going to be good? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
One of the thing matches is the sad part is I don't really care for this match.
I'm just going to say this right now. I'm pretty sure you're not the only one with that sentiment. Continue.
And that's mostly because I don't really care for Chris Jericho, to be honest.
That's only because he's a Canadian that was born in New York.
That has nothing to do with it. He just doesn't do anything for me. It's like my interest levels in Chris Jericho depends on who he's feuding with, and he's feuding with Ricochet, who's another person I don't really care that much about.
That's why I wanted to start when you just get your thoughts, because it's literally a double negative for you.
Yeah, I think if the way AEW books, and especially with like how they are towards Chris Jericho, I don't see him losing his return match. Although more often than not, when most people come back, they usually do lose at the same time. But Ricochet can eat a loss and still find a way to recover because, yeah, that's just how AEW does their booking sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like that's I've noticed that pattern at least, but yeah. Jericho is too big of a name to like lose on his return match, so I'm going with Chris Jericho.
All right, fair enough. Well, let's go around the horn clockwise again, see what the rest of the people think. Charles, what do you think about this match? I mean, literally, I put on the forum, Ricochet made the list. It's a match, folks. You will literally find that on the forum in the morning. Charles, do you agree with that, simply put, or do you believe that Ricochet is going to demand whatever he wants to demand?
First of all, Jericho bringing the list back. That was not the thing I was expecting to see in 2026. That's number one.
Well,
But
there's
you
one
know
thing off
what?
your
I love
bingo
it though.
card.
Either way, and also not getting used to say Chris now. It's gonna be funny, but get used to that. But Jericho's winning this. Easily, he's winning this match. Match is gonna be good. He's winning this. Chris Jericho's
Easily.
not losing his first match. If he does lose his first match back, I will be surprised. But I don't see it happening.
Well, you gotta remember, Ricochet has backup at the gates of agony. All it's gonna take is Tony Ono to pounce him over the border, and you literally might eat crow. But okay, that being said, 2 for Jericho as I updated the banner. Emmanuel, what do you think about this? Jericho, here we go. What's next? I don't know. What do you think about this match?
Yeah, when I saw the highlight of the picture of Kurt Jericho with the list, I'm like, like it was hilarious. I was laughing inside internally, like chuckling, like, oh my god, this is gonna be I hope very unique quiz, because it's just like the same thing that we studied in WWE. It's gonna be get old quickly, but hopefully he makes his own twist that WWE won't let him do certain things with the list. Hopefully, but this makes sense. Like Jericho's not going to lose in his return after 1 year. People are going to still share you still got it to Jericho, and plus it's in Canada. Like,
Well, yeah, we're in Vancouver. Let's not forget.
so it just makes sense. Like, if this is a way for MJF versus Jericho in the future, he needs to get this one. That's what I'm saying.
All right, and I'm just going to say one name, and then I'm going to give it to JJ. Jericho. JJ, what else needs to be said? Here's my thinking, though, based on just the fact that he brought the list back, that segment. Are we at a point where Jericho has reinvented his character so much? He even brought up, like you said, I had good, I had bad. Are we just going to get like little teases of seasoning of all of his little dynamics from the past? Are we going to get Lionheart one more time? We're going to get the light up jacket one more time. Is this going to be like a renaissance period of reminiscence for Jericho and in his last run in AEW? Because again, we really don't know no direction besides the fact that he wants to be in AEW to see this company continue to grow and be a part of it, which I think is very noble since he's been there since day one. And truth be told, there's still plenty of people he has not gotten in the ring with, but Ricochet was not one of those on my list. That's off to the side here. So, JJ, what do you think about Jericho's first match back at AEW against Ricochet here at Dynasty? Could this be an upset?
Well, first thing is Ash mentioned that she didn't really care about this match. I will say to keep the puns and the pop culture references going, you are not alone.
I told you.
As far as this being in Vancouver, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, but isn't Vancouver one of the Canadian provinces that has no Stanley Cups?
Ah!
So I
Yes.
don't know if bringing up winning in Vancouver is quite the argument that Emmanuel thinks it is.
Well then.
Yeah, sorry to my Canadians on the panel, but
I think we lost a
it
couple
is
of
what
viewers
it is.
because I think we lost a couple of viewers because of that comment, because they have to accept that's fact. But anyway, continue.
Hey.
Vancouver riots much.
Like the Falcon. I'm out of line, but I'm not wrong.
Accurate. That's why I'm like, you know what? He's 100% right. Continue.
To your point, though, a couple of days before his re-debut, his return, the word around the internet is Jericho trademarked the cornerstone.
Correct.
I have a feeling that's going to play heavily into things, whether it's another faction a la the Learning Tree
Please don't.
or kind of an amalgamation, as you were alluding to, of all his previous gimmicks. You know, the Cornerstone, the Lionheart, the Painmaker, Painkiller, whatever it was, the Ocho.
Painkiller.
I can't remember which one it was, but I know it was one of those.
It was the
You got-
Painmaker.
you got it
know
right
what
first time.
happens when you screw up a Jericho gimmick?
Uh-oh.
Okay,
God.
but in all fairness, I wasn't watching AEW and New Japan when he was doing that. I just knew it was Pain something. Okay, forgive me.
No, you're good. You're good.
The
I'm just messing with you.
Ocho, the Learning Tree, like
The
I think
Wizard.
it's going to be an amalgam of all that stuff. You know, the Bockwinkel version that he did back in WWE, where he spoke in all the big words and everything.
All of you freaking idiots.
Troglodytes and you know,
Good
Hypocrite.
idiots.
I think he's gonna. I think this version of Jericho, to your point, is gonna kind of be the greatest hits of all of those put together. Kind of like how we saw with Cena in his farewell run, how he was paying tribute to all his opponents that he couldn't wrestle,
Exactly.
and even a couple that he did. You know, I think that this version of Jericho is going to kind of be like that because, to your point, this probably is his final contract. However long he signed for, a year, 2 years, 5 years, we don't know.
Nope.
It's one of the hard-hitting questions that the coach and bro didn't ask TK. But however long this contract is, I think this will be his final contract. So I think the cornerstone is going to be all of that stuff. And we're going to go ahead and boot City by the Bay from the chat for putting all these spoilers for JCW in there, which I was
Wait.
planning on watching tomorrow ahead of Stranglemania.
I didn't see anything, but okay. Again, JJ right now is the moderator of the chat, folks. You will be banned if you are out of context with spoilers for other content that people want to watch, with all due respect. Thank you. That being said,
But
continue.
to make a long story longer, I got Jericho here because, again, to the point that's been made by multiple people, he's not going to lose his first match back.
No way.
And while I wasn't looking forward to this match, I was looking forward to another Ricochet match that's going to be happening this week. But it's not happening anymore, and that's a whole other can of worms that we can maybe get into in between songs on Saturday.
I don't know if I'm going to be invested in this pod or pissed off, but okay then. Sounds like I got more Saturday than I expect.
Well, because you don't scroll, I will just give
Hell
you
no.
this little tidbit. No, we'll try not to get no reaction here. Save it for shenanigans, like I said. But apparently, some of the matches that had been booked in recent weeks that featured TNA versus AEW content have been pulled. MJF versus Nick Nemeth is no longer happening, and Ricochet versus Leon Slater, which was supposed to happen in Vegas, is no longer happening.
Okay, we'll talk more about that later. It's all good. Okay. Thank you for that, JJ. So we got Jericho. Hi, Nick. Let's see if you got Jericho. We are unanimous here. I feel like this has to be kind of one of those things where it's like, well, he's also Canadian, so let's see if he's actually biased, by the way, too. I mean, it's his return match. Enough said. It's literally a return match on pay-per-view out of nowhere, less than a fracking week since he signed on the dotted line. I know he came back the previous week, but that literally was he came back to say I'm home. He literally signed on the dotted line on a damn contract freaking Wednesday night. Go look it up. That being said, you got Jericho and anything further you want to add to this, go ahead. And then Charles, I did think I see your hand if I didn't botch, but I will get to you after Nick.
Can I use option C? Who gives a fuck? Like, hold on. And the reason why I say that, and I'm not trying to be a dick.
Listen.
I'm not trying to be a dick, but
You're not?
I'm trying not to. So know what? I'm gonna be. This is. I told them everybody before stream. This review for me is gonna be very a hot take one. I don't give a fuck about this match. Great, he's back. Awesome. Why did you like? Oh my god! Didn't we not get Ricochet? Does Ricochet not give a shit about the national title anymore? Like, are we? You don't give a shit. Is that what you're telling me?
Pretty much.
Like, I don't understand why we're picking up stories and dropping stories. The last time we saw Ricochet was an exclusive backstage where he was so pissed that he lost the national title. He lost the national title, not getting pinned, and he lost it in a battle royal. You're telling me you're not pissed off about that? Like, this, to me, this is stupid. This match is like. And another thing, sorry, I'm ranting on this. Like, you're telling me Jericho, like, these are the things where it's, yeah, give me a solo.
Yeah, we got a rant, folks. Buckle in for a moment. Get your poutine. Nick's gonna be on a roll here for a moment. Grab a drink.
No, I need show me with everybody. No, I need everybody. And I'm gonna ask this to each one of you. If you had this opportunity where you just signed your contract and you can choose any person on the roster to wrestle, and a certain fellow from New York said this exact same thing, and I agree. If you had an opportunity to pick anybody to wrestle in your first match, wouldn't you want to wrestle somebody with gold? What the fuck does Ricochet have to do with anything?
He showed up.
Like, come on, make it make fucking sense sometimes. Like,
Breathe, brother, breathe. All right, yeah, okay, good.
Jericho,
So
Jericho.
Yeah. Okay, it's not Beetlejuice. He's not going to show up to you say his name 3 times. Yes, I used to watch that show when I was a wee lad. But seriously, I get it. Tranquilo, mi hermana. Tranquilo.
To Nick's point though about going after someone with gold. Okay. We've already got Omega MJF locked in.
Yes.
Can't go for that title.
No.
Mox is locked in. Can't go for that title.
No.
Jack Perry is who knows where.
He's there.
GCW, I guess, with
he's getting ready to team up with Marco Stunt at Spring Break, which I'm gonna get to fucking see.
Yes, you are. You get to see.
I know, Nick. I know.
All right, calm down. Continue.
The TNT title has been stripped and is.
We're gonna talk about that next. Actually,
so it's like you don't want Jericho in that because first match back, everyone's gonna just assume he's gonna take that title.
I'm not.
So what title do you throw him in there for?
The national title. If Jericho is coming back and you knew that his first... Listen, let's be real. TK knew about this match before he even came back. Like, this wasn't even a thing. This wasn't something that was a decision made in 24 hours. If he's coming back, you're telling me you couldn't set up a feud to where it was going to be Ricochet and Jack Perry one-on-one, and then all of a sudden, Jericho comes back and says, no. Hold on. That's a new title. That wasn't here when I was here. I want it. Fuck you. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I mean, again, Jericho right now, we don't even know the direction of the cornerstone and how much this cornerstone is going to be valued in AEW. So I do see what your point when you want context and logic, but also in simply put form. This is professional wrestling, Nick, damn it. That stuff just doesn't exist 100% of the time. Well, that being said, what does exist is this prediction is unanimous. Jericho, before we move on, Charles, I did see your hand. What you got to say real quick?
Well, Jericho, TK on a media call deal. TK said that Jericho signed for multi-year, so he's going to be around for a long while.
I mean, again, with the fact that he's had this level of freedom with character, direction, and accomplishment, not to mention the talent acquisitions that he's worked with outside other projects, including the Jericho Cruise, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest bit, because I'm not going to speak for Jericho, considering he's been involved in this business for over 30 plus years in his mid 50s. But I would argue he's done more in AEW when it comes to quantity of freaking storylines, character dynamics, and wrestling matches than he did during WWF. But again, that's a whole different conversation for another day. This isn't the freaking, state of Jericho, all right? If you want more about that, then speak to your Canadians off air. That being said, Jericho. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, we got the rant out of the way, maybe things now will cool down a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about, since you did bring it up. Unfortunately, this is the wrestling business. This isn't ballet, damn it. People get injured. And one of the brightest rising stars, of AEW is out for now due, I believe, a torn meniscus. And if you know his wife, Sky Blue, she knows a thing or two about that. I wish Kyle Fletcher and the Pro Star have some of studios all the best. Get well soon. That being said, we're not going to hold the title in advance. We're not going to crown interim. We got to figure out who's going to the face of TNT. How we're going to do that? We haven't seen one of these, ironically enough, since Full Gear last year. It's back now, literally almost half a year later. I think it's justified in this case, because I'd rather see this versus a tournament. Have you noticed, by the way, that each of the previous dynasties, this being the third one, had some sort of tournament going into it? I think this was a nice, refreshing change of pace. Nonetheless, we have a Casino Gauntlet match to determine a brand new TNT champion. For those that don't know, it starts with two individuals, and the pinfall submission can happen at any time as other people come out at random intervals. But the first pinfall submission by anybody in this match is officially, in this case, the brand new TNT champion. Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think. And due to the fact that this match, is going to have at least double-digit figures, because every Casino Gauntlet in the history of AEW has at least had that, everybody gets to have two picks. Your primary worth 2, your secondary worth 1. The only knowledge I will tell you as far as who's in it, this past Wednesday on Dynamite, Tommaso Ciampa faced Mascara Dorada in an exhibition, first time ever. It was also determined the number 1 entrant in the Casino Gauntlet. And my shout knows my story as he looks for Sylvie. Ciampa won. He will be the very first person to come out. Give him the best chance to try and render a decision. But with the Hurt Syndicate back, who knows who else in this AEW roster may be looking for gold or opportunity? Not named Jericho. Could we see a new face of TNT for the first time, or could it be a repeat? Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think about this. Continuing on here where people get to lead a match. We started with, of course, our Canadians. Let's go now to Charles. So, Charles, you're on the bubble right now. Casino Gauntlet match. 2 people. Who you got becoming the new face of TNT?
First of all, it damn sucks for Kyle Fletcher. It's like, damn.
Please. Get help.
Well,
I the whole thing about him going on 2026 towards this, through this, and that, and I was like, damn it.
And then
this is the rest of the business.
Yep. As far as two-pace goes, I see Ciampa again, the belt back as my number 1.
Fair enough.
Second, so hard because basically we don't know who's in this match.
Yeah, this match literally is like pick a name and see what happens. And let's also keep in mind, Tony Khan signed about 25 brand new names this calendar year alone, and I'm not talking about just CMLL.
That is also true. My second pick. I give the belt to Shelton Benjamin.
Ooh, I like that, actually. All right. So the gold standard. Well, business has certainly picked up with the Hurt Syndicate get back. I am so damn happy to see the Hurt Syndicate get back. They hurt people. They hurt people. All right. That being said, we got a Tommaso Ciampa and a Shelton Benjamin. People keep these names in mind because, again, anyone can show up in these things. And it could be as much as 21 as we see in the past. Or as little as, I think, 14. If I remember correctly. All right, Emmanuel, you're next. What do you think here? You face the TNT. What are your 2 picks? And is one of them Ciampa? Because I feel like Ciampa's going to be very common for everybody, considering he's the only name known, and he's also the very first name to come out.
Yeah, it'd be easy to say Ciampa, but I don't think so. Like for me, I don't think he really needs it. Like he already got a title, right away. It's like, do you really want to give him another title this soon in this in his career in AEW. Like for me, it's not as easy. So
I think it's easy for anybody.
yeah, so for me, it's like it's either gonna be Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin, like one of the Hurt Syndicate is gonna get this title. It wouldn't be the worst idea, but on top of my head, I don't know who you will you put as because Kyle Fletcher was a top tier name, and he was going to be the future for it. So they want to establish the title. So why not give it to a semi big name? So that's my logic. But who knows how Tony Khan is going to book this? But this one, I'm not really sure the landscape right now for that title. But those are my picks.
Yeah, it's fair. Again, what I love about this match, the unpredictability of who's in it and the unpredictability who's actually going to win it. That's one of the things I enjoy sometimes in wrestling, actually being surprised. All right. Well, I mean, again, Kyle Fletcher, one of the strongest foundations in recent memory to the TNT champion, being perfectly honest. We, of course, also seen Mark Briscoe carry this in the past, Scorpio Sky. You talked about Tommaso Ciampa. I think about other people that haven't carried it. Maybe Roderick Strong. Maybe one of the Dogs. Maybe one of the Rascals. Maybe, actually, no, Busting the Brain, Tag Team Pursuits only, honestly. I think they're just so incredible together. It's just one of those things also with the CMLL talent. Could it be Mascara Dorada that surprised? Could it be Commander? Could it be, well, Nick Wayne's going to be the Best Super Juniors. Again, Ash, that's just coming up here recently. There's so many possibilities, but I do like the fact we're talking about Shelton Benjamin, who was one of the most prolific Intercontinental champions during his time in WWE. And honestly, when the Kurtzker came back to business, I wouldn't mind seeing that title purely in black and gold for people getting hurt within 20 minutes. So I do like that a lot. All right, let's go around the horn and see what everybody else thinks here. JJ, what do you think? TNT title, once again. Oh, fuck me. Here we go. This is going to get interesting. He's playing the manual card. I wonder if it's the monster or the trap card this time. That's the trap card. But I'm just going to say it real quick. This annoys me. I'm not OCD. You trigger me. No, time out. You don't play a trap card sideways. Fucking hell.
Hold on,
Noah
hold
over
on.
here, and Noah over here gets more thing when just about all the cards and everything. Okay.
The orientation versus the gimmick. Anyway.
Hold on. Time out.
What?
Hold on. We can play Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Don't give
So
Nick
what,
ideas.
Nick? I'm still waiting for you and Ryan to have that damn thing already.
Anyway.
That's not
JJ.
any Yu-Gi-Oh card, Nick. That is the exclusive Emmanuel card. To
Fuck
my
people.
knowledge,
He's just pissed
to
off
my
Noah.
knowledge, only 2 exist.
Okay, but where's the magic?
Exactly.
There has to be a magic card.
That
I
being
love-
said,
I
JJ
love
played the manual
Emmanuel's
card.
reaction when I play the Emmanuel card. He pops for it every time.
JJ, we've
Sideways.
broken Noah with that manual card at least more than once.
Her card played vertical, not horizontal. Anyway,
You guys just I just hope you know you've opened up Pandora's box with that card. Good
I
luck
already
to
knew that.
everybody.
This is
the manual
great.
card. The manual card's already fucked me over once in predictions. The other time, it was like
More
you
than
played
once,
crazy.
Noah. It's more than once.
Well, I've only seen it twice play here live. That being said, go ahead, JJ, play the card and your prediction.
My prediction to win the TNT Championship, Konosuke Takeshita.
But what?
Who
Whoa.
had to surrender the title. Who's been bouncing back and forth between Protokata and Protashta. There's been an underlying story here in the Callis family with Takeshita and Okada. And where does Fletcher lie in all of this?
Stuck in the middle.
And now that Fletcher's had to surrender the title, I've got Konosuke Takeshita as your new face of TNT.
Well, he is already face of NWW World because he holds the NWW World Television Championship. So honestly, that makes sense.
My second choice is Champa, but Takeshita is my number one pick.
All right, then. And he ends his turn. I'm not sure if I can take his life points away right now, but I certainly will try in the future. To be continued next episode, next week on the WB. All right. Thank you, JJ. Oh, my gosh.
Sorry, you said the next episode.
Bloody hell. All right. Anyway, that being said, you've definitely threw a tailspin in thoughts with Kenosi Takeshita, considering he'll be working double duty because he's in a tag match against your favorite tag team on this card, where he's guaranteed a shot each at Okada's title double nothing, regardless of result. But it wouldn't surprise me with how hard the Alpha works. He could be in this too, because the Don Callis family wants all the gold. And right now, Don Callis is using Kyle Fletcher as a crutch to make Konosuke and Okada play nice. And so far, Scottie Pippen is not liking playing nice with Michael Jordan.
See, I didn't know he was booked in a match because I was looking at the graphics and I didn't see him, which is part of why I picked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't released the official graphic yet. What does that tell you? But anyway. All right.
I may be having second thoughts then, but just going off of what I saw here, because I haven't been tuning in weekly.
I get you.
That's where I was coming from. But
no, I get you. I respect that 100%. I absolutely get you.
And I could see Takeshita doing double duty. It wouldn't be the first time they had someone do double duty on a pay-per-view. So
yeah, exactly. You kidding me?
Willow just did it last month, and I got to see her do it live. So you know.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. All right. Well, thank you for that. I'm going to just say, I want to see a new first-time TNT champion. So as soon as the Hurst came back, one of the first names that did come to my mind was Shelton Benjamin. He's going to be definitely one of my picks. This is one of those matches I'm not worried about necessarily losing because, again, we don't know. So I'm actually going in a different tangent because I actually want to see, again, a first-time, brand new TNT champion. I want to be surprised. I want to see somebody make this matter. So I'm actually going out on a limb here, despite the fact I guess it's a tag team dynamic, but now he's conglomerating, and Mark Briscoe will probably respect it. I'm going with Roderick Strong. I think Roderick Strong deserves a chance at a single championship run here. I think the TNT championship would be a unique fit for him. I think it would also be a unique change in the dynamic with him and Orange Cassidy as a tag team. And with Mark Briscoe in there, Mark Briscoe and Roderick Strong could renew Ring of Honor history. And I think Roderick Strong confirming he's part of agglomeration. This would be a nice little soft reset. It's also a title that he hasn't held yet. So right now I'm going with, and again, your predictions aren't final until 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday night. Keep that in mind, folks. I'm going to go on a tangent to I see Collision because I'm sure all those thoughts are going to change with this match, particularly when we get to Collision. Because I believe there's also a match where we determine the number 2 entrants, either Rouge or Anthony Bowens, although I don't see either man winning. I'm going to go right now with Shelton Benjamin and Roderick Strong until I get an idea who else throws their name in this field, known-wise, or someone gives me a tease to think that they could win this possibly under any case. So right now, those are my two. Well, that being said, Nick, that leaves you without an Emmanuel card. What do you guys say regarding this gauntlet match? And I'm sure your two names will probably be more dynamic than anyone else here. What do you think?
Two things. One, the fact that we're having the Casino Gauntlet now, I better not see it for the rest of the year. I don't want to see it for the rest of the year. I don't want to. I'm happy. You can give it to. I mean, I don't understand. Like you couldn't have. Anyway, you couldn't have come up with anything else. But I digress. I won't rant on it. I have.
Maybe I do that here.
I'm gonna start. Charles, I really hope not. I'm gonna start with my number 2 pick.
Okay.
My number 2 pick is gonna be Tommaso Ciampa because I can see them playing the story out. The fact that Ciampa, will probably get Mark Briscoe back in this match, and then you can kind of play out that story, right? Because Ciampa, who did he turn heel on? Well, he turned heel on Briscoe. And we haven't seen Briscoe since.
True.
So, if you want, you can play that story out at Double or Nothing. It'd be a hard-hitting match. It'd be a great match. and he can play it back out there. But I'm going to do a feel-good moment for the TNT Championship. You were in the right vein when you said the conglomeration, but you're missing one fellow, and he is, in fact, a Vancouver native.
Eh?
I'm going with a returning Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, wow.
Because
Man.
he recently came out, and this is why, Noah, this is why sometimes scrolling is good. He recently came out on an interview, and he said he hopes to be back very, very soon. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
He's literally is from Vancouver, too. You're absolutely correct, Bruce. I didn't even think, I wasn't sure when he was going to come back either. So, well, now you definitely gave me even more food for thought because everyone knows how much I'm a supporter of the Violent Artist, former Ring of Honor World Champion, NXT Tag Team Champion, Kyle O'Reilly. He's been one of my favorite wrestlers to follow.
And we have to remember, before he got injured, they were playing that story with Mox and him, and he was getting these wins off of Mox. I'm pretty sure at Blood and Guts, before he left, before he had to go back on the shelf, he was very instrumental in winning, and you can see that they were pushing him.
Yes.
So why not give? Listen, I know we missed the days of when they were all together. Him, and, mind blown. And I know he's hurt, and I know he's injured, and I hope he gets healthy. But what a feel-good moment would it be if Kyle O'Reilly wins it and Adam Cole is the one to present him with the title?
I think you would make Ash faint. And I don't know if Ash is going to be on the call with me, but that might be her moment of the month. That being said, very, very poetic way to go full circle, and that is undisputed. To your point, he's the one that submitted John Moxley in Blood and Guts and also beat him in a literal submission match at Full Gear before he got bludgeoned and injured.
So I mean,
during that match,
right? So if he's healed, we haven't heard a lick of it. If he's healed, I mean, we just saw Jericho come back in Winnipeg, in his hometown. We're seeing the Hurt Syndicate come back. We just saw Hikaru Shida come back. It seems like this is the year of OG's comebacks, which I have another prediction, and it'll come later. But
of course,
Queen, like it just seems like it's the comebacks. I feel like it's the comeback season. So I mean, again, Kyle coming back in a match like this, winning it, and having that feel. I mean, again, I don't know if Adam Cole can travel, how he's doing, how he's feeling. Maybe he drives in. Exactly. Right?
You did it on purpose.
But you know what I mean? Like, he had the TNT title. So how good would it feel for Kyle to win his first singles title in AEW and have it presented by the man who used to hold it and had to relinquish it due to injury? Just it would be such a feel-good moment for the audience that's there.
I mean, you're literally just getting all the Canadians there, just pros. I mean, we saw Speed on My Billy represent in the main event against MJF. So again, it does feel like the season of feel-good moments for Canadians. So again, a very poetic way to book a new TNT champion under these circumstances that still makes long-term sense. I'm very impressed, and you definitely got me thinking. All right, well, that being said, from one Canadian to another to finish this one out, and you probably gave Ash a lot more food for thought that probably wasn't even on her mind. So, Ash, you close this one out. Your two picks for the single gauntlet match for the TNT Championship. What do you got to say after that?
I like what Nick's cooking, but I don't think it's going to happen, sadly. I would love for that to happen, though. I was not thinking about Kyle O'Reilly at all. I was like, oh, shit, yeah, that's right. They're in Vancouver. He's a Vancouver boy. I keep forgetting Kyle O'Reilly's Canadian until people bring it up. I was like, oh, yeah, that boy's Canadian, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
He's like me for real. He's from our country. I do love Kyle O'Reilly. Oh, my God, because y'all know how much I goddamn love technical wrestling. I miss seeing that boy wrestle every week.
As he drinks an orange cup.
Speaking of Orange, I was going to mention Orange Cassidy possibly winning because he has not won the TNT title. I was thinking like maybe Pac could win it because I don't think he's been TNT champion, or Claudio, because I was thinking maybe one of the Death Riders could win the title as well, add some like get some gold around their waist. Other because the only title holder is Moxley right now, right?
Correct.
I was thinking like maybe Tommaso Ciampa could win it because he's the safe pick because there's heavy build and focus around him for the TNT title, which makes sense. They could also go back with Mark Briscoe as well because it's like those three were like the big names right now in the TNT title picture. I was going to mention Darby, but Darby could work double duty, but then I saw he's in another match. But
We'll talk about that next.
yeah. So I think for my picks, I'm going to go with the safe pick of Tommaso Ciampa. And I'm just trying to think of like who would I tune in weekly to see, and who would get me enticed to go watch Collision if they're wrestling. And I'm torn between two names. Who do I want to see more? Do I want to see Orange or do I want to see Claudio? You know what? I'm going to pick Claudio and Ciampa. Those are my picks.
Two bald men. All right, fair enough. She likes the bald man. She likes the blade techers. All right. Well, again, I love the names dynamic across the board here. Nick, I did see your hand. What you got to say real quick, man, before we move on to the next match?
So you know the interview that I just quoted that I told you that he was on that you talked about?
Yes.
That interview was done on a show called This Is Van Color.
Sounds like a local radio show.
Local radio for where?
Ooh.
Vancouver.
I want to. May I read a quick quote?
Go ahead.
A real quick
Game
quote.
for thought.
Real quick quote from This Is Van Color. Kyle O'Reilly went on to say, "I really want to be ready in time for the Vancouver pay-per-view, which is Dynasty, coming up this weekend from Rogers Arena. So, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe I'll be back in time for that."
I think a lot of people are going to start saying Kyle O'Reilly, at least for secondary at this point, with you just saying that.
Shout out to Van Color.
The fact that he's saying wink, wink, nudge, nudge is part of the quote really leads me to believe that he will be on the show somewhere.
Yeah. The question is where?
I was about to say, do we see him on Collision? Or did they wait till the pay-per-view to make his return? If he is returning, that is.
It would have to be pay-per-view because Collision is not in Vancouver. Again, we're hashtag spoiler free, but as we know, they did a double taping of Collision and Dynamite in Edmonton. Collision, for all we know, is probably spoiled on every dirt sheet on the internet. Of course, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to watch it on Saturday. But
yeah, I forgot about the double tapings. Sorry.
Yeah. And the context you put there with Kyle O'Reilly regarding this moment or picking up that momentum where he left him against Jon Moxley, who does hold a championship at this moment. There's a lot of proof of thought that Kyle O'Reilly could very much be involved in this card and give himself a direction through Double or Nothing. And this is just one of the biggest caveats of putting towards it. Clearly not the only one, I feel like. But thank you for that, Nick. But that being said, folks, you heard the names dynamic. Again, we don't know who's in it. We don't know everyone that's in it. We don't know who could be in it. But there's a lot of unique dynamics when it comes to this Casino Gauntlet match. Emmanuel, I see you have your hand up. What do you guys say real quick?
If it's true, what gave away? The wink, wink, or the nudge, nudge? I'll go with the nudge, nudge.
I mean,
what do you guys think?
If he did give it away, it would be not the first thing that was kind of leaked during an interview this week. As Brooke Havoc may have given something away in our interview with her this past Tuesday, which go back and take a look at that. Nick looks like he's thinking, clusterfuck, Nick?
Man, I wish I was there for that interview. I had a fun time listening to it while I was at work.
You need to start doing those interviews when you can, pal. And again, shout out to JJ and all the great work and figured all the incredible female talent for title match, ladies' night, and Porter Mania that have given us their time to lend their voice, tell their story, and also hype themselves up. And of course, where you can see them in future bookings. Again, follow the incredible talent. Look at all the podcasts, of course. You'll find links to all their pages in each of our individual podcasts. There's a simple playlist on my YouTube channel. All right, that being said, guys, let's go ahead and keep going through this card because we still have a lot more to discuss. And we will go from something very dynamic to something that is one way or another. One needs it, the other one, tranquilo. We're talking about all the different dynamics when it comes to Kyle O'Reilly and his future. There are so many different dynamics to the AEW Men's World Championship. It is ridiculous. And one of these two men might be in the very foreseeable near future. Because for the first time ever, Andrade El Idolo is going one-on-one against Darby Allin. Darby Allin, who literally lived to survive facing death, not once, but twice. Well, who are we kidding? More times than we could count. And of course, now it's freed from the Death Riders and put Gabe Kidd inside a coffin who is pushing up daisies. That's a whole different conversation. But
Dude legit
MJF
got hit by a bus.
Yes, and he survived,
Yeah,
JJ. Do you want to
He's
keep
fucked.
going? You want to keep going 1,001 ways that Darby Allin survived? We'll be here for another hour. Thank you. That being said, Darby Allin, though, he has set his sights now on the AEW Men's World Championship, and he says, I'm going to see that before I see God, because I'm still here. MJF, aware of that. We all know the long-term history for anyone who's been all elite wrestling fans since day one like me, when it comes to Darby Allin and MJF and their only singles match, they end with a head-shoulder takeover where MJF won. Bottom line, MJF has put Mr. Moneyman, Andrade El Idolo, on his payroll and for him to take out somebody that is a formidable foe, a threat, you would say. To the point, this match has AEW World Championship implications. If Darby Allin beats Andrade El Idolo, he will get a future shot at the AEW Men's World Championship. And by the way, Kenny Omega even honored this. Of course, we will talk about that in our main event. Bottom line, guys, there's no prior history with these two men. It's the first time ever one-on-one. This past Wednesday, the Don Callis family obliterated Darby Allin and company and got the better of them. And Andrade Idolo even low-blow Darby Allin post-match, adding further insult to injury. And how many times have we seen this walking, living cadaver endure punishment, be written off, and somehow rise to the occasion through wrestling nonetheless? So don't count Darby Allin out. Let's go around the horn and see what y'all think. And could Darby Allin be on the road to Double or Nothing to challenge for the AEW Men's World title against the Devil or a God? Let's see what you all think. I believe this time we're going to start with Emmanuel for this match. Emmanuel, what do you think? Darby Allin's been on quite a winning roll as of late. 7-0, I believe, in his last singles matches, including the coffin matches I talked about. But Andrade, he's got to have mixed fortunes. But again, right now, he does not agree with the Don Callis family agenda, but he's currently working it. Now, win or loss here for Andrade Idolo, the jury is out whether or not MJF will play nice with Don Callis and give Andrade that shot. That was not mentioned at all. And Andrade, of course, come up the loss to Yota Tsuji, and that last bit singles win against Bandito, former current world champion, at Revolution. There are more dynamics in which way Andrade goes, but if Darby loses, good luck, man. That's all I got to say about that. So, Amanda, what do you think?
I think this is one of the most strangest matches of them all. Like Darby Allin, Andrade, Idolo. Wow, what a match!
Yeah, I did not expect this match at all. So I'm going to be honest with you.
Who's gonna win? I think it's Andrade. Like, and I'm not gonna lie. I think like if you're gonna bring back Andrade, you need to reestablish them. And try to make it look like a bigger star, like because the first time didn't work. Why not this make the second time work? That make him a bigger superstar than he was. Like, because if not, then what's the point of bringing him back if he's just to be in the mid card act again? So for me, like Andrade needs to this win and he needs to be elevated a little bit more. Be honest with you, Darby, like he could eat the loss, like it will not affect him regardlessly the outcome, win or lose. So for me, like Andrade needs this a bit more, in my opinion.
Okay. Fair enough. We got one for the We're going to do things a little different this time, and we're going to go up and down arrow wise. So now it's me. I think Darby Allin is literally the guy for the longest time that has been on the journey to this accomplishment. An AEW original since day one. And as I talked about when Sting hit him up that bat, maybe AEW's icon. A former TNT champion, but a guy that's literally ride through hell and back in his career and in life. And I feel this could be a really big accomplishment. We've been talking about who we've had penciled in for the AEW Men's World Championship after MJF's run, where he says it's going to go down as legendary. It already has, considering he's already defended this title multiple times on the Independents, by the way, in Limitless Wrestling, and has now called out Pat Buck for a match next month in May. Could the title be on the line? Who's to say? But nonetheless, I think that Darby Allin and MJF should pick up where they once left off. And I think it'd be very poetic to be at Double or Nothing, the stage where it all began. So I'm actually going with Darby Allin here because at the end of the day, he could get obliterated with a DM, spinning back fist, you name it. All he's got to do is pin the man for 3 seconds. In fact, that's how he won his last singles match. He survived Roosh, who bludgeoned that guy up and down the freaking arena, and he caught him with a pinfall in 3 seconds. That's all it takes, even after getting pile drive by Mark Davis. The bottom line, Darby Allin is a survivor. He always keeps fighting. He always keeps coming back. And he said, it will be before I see God that I don't stop this pursuit for the AEW Men's World Championship. I'm not reading his last rights yet on that pursuit. I think that Darby Allin deserves this chance this year at Double or Nothing, if nothing else. And of course, MJF, he's the devil. Do you trust the devil? I'm just saying. But regardless, I'm going with Darby Allin here to find a way to overcome Andrade El Idolo. And then we'll see how that changes the momentum of Andrade and the trust in Don Callis' plans, considering he's already caught MJF at the House of Glory show. Just saying. And I wouldn't count on Andrade pursuing this championship yet either. But I think Darby deserves this win. I'm going with Darby. Ash, I'll go to you next on this. What do you think about this match? Where, again, if Darby wins, it's an impromptu to my contenders match for him.
Yeah, I was trying to think of, who needs this win more? Because right now, because it doesn't look like Darby really has a direction going for them, although it's very heavily hinted that he is interested in the world title picture, which is good because that's something I've been wanting to see for quite some time now. It's just that they never really penciled him in. Whereas Andrade, yeah, he has all this momentum in the world going for him right now, but he does have his options. He can pick up where he left off with Bandito because he does hold the wind off of Bandito, and he can do something down in Ring of Honor. Whereas Darby, on the other hand, he doesn't really have a direction like Andrade does. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Darby Allin because I want to see him as the world title. Darby's one of my favorites in AEW. I love watching that guy wrestle and do what he does best. And even if he doesn't win the title, it'd be nice to actually see him, be in title contention because the guy worked his ass off for it, especially how many times he's been TNT champion and floundering in the mid card. So it should be nice to make his work, see how he fits in the main event scene, or at least give a little teaser of how he would fare in that scene at least.
All right, fair enough. 2 Darbys, 1 Andrade. All right, that leads us to the other Canadian. Nick, what do you think about this? I mean, again, Darby literally said, we were talking about the new beginning of AEW this year. At the beginning of the year, he said he wants to go after and become AEW Men's World Champion. So, again, is this the guaranteed catapult to give him that chance?
Yes, I think Darby is winning this match because they let you know on commentary, they really heavily, if you were listening to it, they really hammered home the fact that, and I don't know how they got to this conclusion, but if Darby does win, he's the number 1 contender for the world championship, which I don't understand how he would be the number 1 contender when Andrade is not even a number 1 contender. It was weird. But
it's a Don Callis family MJF fed agenda with a guy that has a very strong singles win streak. It's MJF literally throwing everybody but the kitchen sink to make sure Darby Allin's not involved.
No, but I think you're right. But I think, like I said, they hammered it home on commentary. I do think that Darby wins, but it's unfortunate. I don't like I don't like how he's saying he needs this because we just had somebody else who said they needed this, and he's been off TV. So I mean, I don't like the verbiage he's using. I would try to go with something else. But yeah, I have Darby. I have Darby winning this. And going on to Double or Nothing.
All right, fair enough. I feel like, again, the key word here is need, but the expression of need is another driving factor why I think people are buying into Darby Allin and his pursuit of the AEW Men's World Championship. Again, how much do you desire something goes back to what John Moxley said about the Continental Championship, about how obsessed he was to win that. We'll be talking more about that here shortly. Charles, that being said, Darby Allin and Andrade Hilo, what do you guys say regarding this match?
Darby Allin, you guys set up your double or nothing main event. Go to JJ now.
Thank you very much. And with that being said, we'll go to JJ to close this one out. So, JJ, I'm pretty sure outside of Manuel, it is literally going to be 5-1 unless you really surprise me here. So, do you have Darby Allin or Andrade?
Bonus question. How far into the match does Andrade take his pants off to reveal his Speedo?
Oh, bloody hell! What the fuck was...
Or go outside the ring and take a selfie with a woman.
Under 10 minutes. Over under 10 minutes.
Wait, he's going to make this video go longer because of this conversation. Seriously, JJ?
No, I'm just trying to be funny, Noah, because it's like something he's been doing a lot since he came back.
It is.
I'm going to say under. And to the assholes that have said Mel Coleman looks like a man, you go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you all are wrong for that, all right? And
fucking dicks.
All right, moving on from there. Be better, folks.
See, here's my problem with this match.
Go for it.
I don't care about either one of these guys.
High five.
Darby is going to win. I'd rather Andrade wins, but I could give a fuck less. My investment in Darby winning the title was prior to Everest. Was him claiming the title after ascending Mount Everest.
Mm-hmm.
And they went away from that to go with Hangman because they just had to get the belt off of Moxley. Now, I don't give a fuck. I just don't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know, if anything, I'd rather Andrade get the title to shove it up his ex-wife's ass.
All right.
Ooh.
You know, just to show that he can be successful without writing her name.
He'd be a good TNT title holder too.
True.
He'd also be a solid world champion.
Yeah, I feel like he's world championship pedigree, and I still think Andrade the name you need to leave in that equation still. At some point.
But you know, I'm gonna the end of the day, the question is, who would you bet money on? You're in Las Vegas at the bookie counter. Mm-hmm. Are you putting money on Darby or are you putting money on Andrade? I don't want to lose money, so I'm putting money on Darby.
Though you're tired, Tribe, you might literally shot yourself in the foot. All right. Well, that being said, Darby Allin. So Darby Allin 5, Andrade 1. Nick, I did see you had a thought to add before we move on. What's up?
Okay. What if somehow, some way, Swerve gets involved? Does maybe Swerve's involvement make this any better? Because again, the verbiage that Darby has been using is, I need this. Well, if I'm Swerve, I'm coming out there and saying, motherfucker, what do you mean you need this? I need this.
Oh, my Lord. I feel like we're setting up the most dangerous rivalry since Hangman and Swerve. And Swerve gets involved, and Swerve and Darby have a depth note against each other. But to your point, Swerve is not even on this card, and he created his dynasty winning the AEW Men's World Championship at the first dynasty against Samoa Joe. And I do think Swerve is going to show up one way or another Sunday nights.
So
does it Swerve make better? No.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see interference in this match, but again, Don Kyle's family. And also Swerve and Darby, very tumultuous history as well. Both men from Defy as well. Still, food for thought, Nick. Definitely something to consider. But regardless, 5 Darbys, 1 Andrade. Okay. Well, that being said, let's go ahead and move into what's probably going to be the easiest match to call. And I'm just going to go ahead and spearhead this because you know I'm a hater for life. Hater hits hard. But Thekla, she was signed to AEW. And she's looking for the person that literally handed her her first defeat. It's one of those matches where the champion is looking to send a statement, especially after you heard what she friend Lexi Nair with after a good time with a dinner and then ripping her fingers off at a strip club. Jesus Christ, Fekla, you are warped, and I love you for that. But regardless, Fekla trying to lead the Triangle of Madness in the big gaping gap. I probably shouldn't say that. That Thomas Toy Storm is leaving the AEW Women's Division now. We got to consider who's really going to spearhead this division. With the fact we know the Brawling Birds are right now in the crosshairs of this war with the Death Friars United Empire, but also could be the ones that people might see upset the Divine Dominion in their home turf. For those that don't know, she's a charming Brit. It's one of those things that Thekla is looking for revenge against the woman that beat her last year at Wrestle Dream in her first ever singles defeat. Tekla's career really started with Jamie Hayter clocking her the wins after Double or Nothing, and we approach near 1 year later. These two are about to run it back in my strongest hitting match of the month. Straight up, I love Hayter. Hayter's actually going back to Pro Wrestling Eve in the near future. I love the Brawling Birds, but Thekla right now, who just resigned and is leading the Triangle of Madness, I expect this to be unanimous. I don't expect there to be a lot of conversation here, so that's why I brought it up. I don't see Thekla losing, especially after the Triangle of Madness just lost to the Brawling Birds and Mina after Jamie Hayter spoiled Thekla using a knuckle duster and then clocked her. And of course, Thekla got upset with it because Thekla, once again, couldn't get the better of Hayter. It's a straight-up grudge match, but it's also a redemption for the AEW Women's World Champion. If the Triangle Matters are going to build any stock into the future of all 3 of them for the AEW Women's Division, I think Thekla has to retain, simply put. And I also think Thekla uses a knuckle duster to try and knock Hayter hard, because that's probably the only way she's going to knock her the fuck out. But I got Thekla retaining, and I imagine everyone else has Thekla retaining as well. So this one, I'm just going to put up a little bit of a ballot count to see if anyone has anything said different before I move on. So I have Thekla retaining. Going once, if there's a counter. Going twice. Charles, I see your head. That's interesting. I don't see your hand. Unless that was his hand. Do you have something to say? There it is. What do you got to say real quick?
I do have something to say. I do agree Vecco's retaining, but I expect someone to show up after this match.
Eh?
Fuck you, Charles. Fuck you, Charles. Don't take it.
Wait a minute.
Well, Nick, you might be more different than mine.
We got telepathy. This is going to get interesting. Well, guess what? He put his hand up first, so he's going to say it. If he spoils it, you can chastise him later. Charles, who you got in mind?
Probably not the same person Nick is probably thinking of. Considering somebody's down to 0 belts, I expect her to show back up here.
Oh, Mercedes Moné. All right, we'll see. But
since Tony Storm's not gonna be around, they're gonna need other people. What else can you really do? Just saying.
Well, I mean, again, we've already seen, like you said, the season of returns. So there you go. All right. Well, that being said, it's factually unanimous. Does anyone else have anything further to say regarding someone showing up before I move on? And Nick, I do see your hand, and then I see JJ unmuted. What do you got to say?
So, yes, she's showing up. I do see her showing up. But I do see another person showing up. And I will say her name till I'm blue in the face.
You muted.
Oh, what the fuck? JJ knows where I'm going with this. JJ knows where I'm going with this.
Did you actually mute JJ? Did you actually mute him?
Yes, I did.
JJ, 10 out of 10. You know that? There you go.
Because he knows where I'm going with this. And
Look,
if
let
Ash
him live and die on this mountain. Just say it.
Just say it, man.
Just say it.
This is great. This is great.
Let's say it, JJ, please.
Say it.
The doctor is costing Jamie Hayter.
Oh,
Listen. Y'all laughed at me when I said Jericho was coming back. She's coming back. She's coming back. I can like it. Think about this again. This is my tinfoil cap. If she comes back, you can run Hater versus Britt. You
yeah, you
can
could.
run. You can run Stat versus Tekla again, because you're not. If we're wrestling 101, we are not having. And I know it's AEW. I understand, but we really can't run heel versus heel. Monet's not coming back as a babyface, so you need a babyface to take the title off of Tekla.
I do agree about that.
If you're gonna give me at All In, it just makes sense, because it seems like Stat lost her title and then completely just said, "Fuck it, I don't want it back." Like,
Well, actually, right now she doesn't know her direction. But if you saw the again, across Sheeta right now, who sees her own direction, sounds like Sheeta's trying to lobby Chris Statlander for a tag team, and I'm not sure what that leads to. But I like this dynamic a lot.
it's just weird.
It is
So I
weird,
mean, regardless, you're gonna need a babyface to take, because again, Monet is not coming back as a heel, so you need a babyface to have that title for Monet to take it off of, whether that be Willow or not.
We all
You
love
need
Willow.
you need somebody to take it off her. So, and you don't. I feel like you don't want to pin. You don't want to pin Jamie clean. I feel like you're doing a disservice to Jamie if you pin her clean.
That's why I don't think it's gonna be clean here. Are you kidding me?
No. So which is why I think, again, Britt comes back and costs her. I will die on that hill.
Let him dream. Let him dream. Let him dream. Let it be. All right. Well, thank you for that, Nick. I figured for that, Charles. Ash, hello. I see your hands up. What you guys say real quick before you move on? I think Jada just literally wanted to mess with Nick because he knew Nick was going to say that. So
Yeah, I knew you were
I
saying
did, but I
Dr.
did
Dre.
have something I was going to say too. Remember, I had unmuted, but go ahead, Ash.
Oh, okay. Well, ladies first, and then the gentleman last. That always likes to cook a master meal. Go ahead, Ash. What you guys say?
I had a feeling Nick was going to say Dr. Britt Baker. That's why I went DMD multiple times.
I saw that. I saw it from a mile away too. In kilometers. Pick a metric system y'all use up there. Continue.
Because I do miss seeing Dr. Britt Baker. I would love to see her return. Is it going to happen anytime soon? It's really hard to say. I say that the chances are low, but they're not zero. And as for like Tekla, I see Tekla winning, but the issue I have is, other than Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, what pure babyface does AEW have to potentially challenge for Tekla's title run if she does retain? That's my only concern I have right now.
Yeah, it's very vague right now at the babyface front. I mean, Mina gave her a hell of a shot. I wouldn't mind them running that back, but right now I don't see no clear babyface that could take the title off Thekla, and the Triangle of Madness right now literally holding the AEW women's division. I'm just waiting now to see when Sky Blue and Julia Hart get their chance, because Thekla wants to see both those young women thrive and succeed. And again, with Thomas Toy Storm right now off the marquee, this is a huge opportunity for everybody to step up.
And this also raises another question too, because we're very heel heavy on the women's division.
Oh yeah.
Who do they turn to face? That wouldn't be like logical. That makes sense booking wise and motivational wise to go after Tekla.
Well, I mean, they could also bring forward more of a Hyon and Maya world. I mean, because I know they just did working out of Ring of Honor, and with enough work, you could see something down the line. And I'm also just putting it out there because you got to consider opportunity could happen for anyone at any time. We have the Owen Foundation tournaments coming up, which you know are going to lead to World Championship implications. So I'm just thinking about sign talent on this roster. But yeah, as far as a straightforward babyface, I mean, Persephone is cleaner. I mean, she did beat Thekla last year in the CMLL Grand Prix. I'm sure Thekla, who's trying to get all her wins back, has Persephone in her future at some point. It's one of those things right now where I look at this point of the women's division, I don't see a clear top-tier babyface direction besides our smiling babyface of TBS, Willow Nightingale, who I think is going to have a very strong run with this TBS title. So again, it's food for thought, Ash. I don't have an answer for you yet, but I kind of like the fact that I don't know because it leads me to be surprised once it happens. And I think that's the thing when I talk about the AEW Women's Division. Potential. And once again, the potential is there. They just got to figure out a way to balance it now with the world title and the tag division. Where right now, I don't see nobody taking those titles off Divine Dominion either. All right. With that being said, JJ, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, are you mirrored? I'm about to say, you're mirrored, so you're probably pointing the wrong way. He's pointing.
They are. They're trying to point at Emmanuel, who's raising his hand.
But you also
No, we were pointing at you.
Oh.
Yeah, I was pointing at you.
We're pointing at you, JJ.
Well, look, you get lost in translation and direction. Let the guy in the center of the screen, those going to go each way to point to the guy that's next. Thank you. JJ, go ahead, and then Emmanuel. JJ, what you got to say real quick? I love the fact we're talking about the AEW Women's Division, by the way. This makes me happy.
Well, to be perfectly honest, until Ash and Nick gave their little speeches, all I unmuted for was to say I love the way that Tekla says bitches. That was my only thing I was going to interject until they started talking, because the way she says bitches pops me every time, kind of like Okada says bitch. Something about the way they say it just pops me. But then Nick had to open his fucking mouth. And then Ash had to add to it. And then my booking brain got to spinning.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Ash, where are you? Are you below me?
So
Yes,
I'm
she
going to
is.
go to Ash's point first, because the Nick thing is going to take longer. As far as who could they turn babyface, I have two names.
Go for
And
it.
I don't think it would take much for them to turn babyface, because I think at least 90% of the fan base respects these two. One is the Megasis. If you see the reactions she gets in GCW, it would be really easy to translate that to AEW.
Fair. And she's only been heelish, basically, on her own throne since being part of AEW.
You figure an easy way to do it. Where's Penelope Ford? She's injured, right?
Injured.
So when she comes back, she aligns with Megan Bain. Or not Megan Bain, excuse me, Marina Shafir.
Yeah, about to say, Marina Shafir.
And the two of them attack Megan, because Megan was using both of them in the tag team to try to get gold, until finally getting to Lena Cross. So the two of them align and beat Megan down.
Well, it does seem like you need more than one person to beat down the Megasis. By the way, go check out the close-up with Nate Paquette, folks, on Divine Dominion and their outlook on what they want to bring for the AEW Women's Tag Division and how they came to be a cohesive unit. Great chat. Continue.
The second name is the fallen goddess Athena.
Don't.
Because everybody's been clamoring for her to come up to the main roster. So if she was to come to the main roster and become champion, I don't think they'd be able to keep her heel. People would be loving her way too much, because she finally got out of Ring of Honor purgatory and ascended to the throne that she deserved to be on top of.
Well, those two would definitely have an intense battle, too. All right, fair enough. I mean, again, it's food for thought, but as long as Athena holds her grip on the Ring of Honor Women's, who am I kidding? On Ring of Honor in general, I don't see that happening.
A Supercard of Honor is about a month away. Weirder things have happened, and the Owen will be going on at the same time.
Very true.
Who's to say she can't be in the Owen? Do we know the brackets yet?
No, of course not. You kidding me?
Okay, so that'll probably be announced at Dynasty, because it's usually always announced in Canada, and it usually always culminates at Double or Nothing.
For the most part, they talk about it. If not, they announce it on the Wednesday night Dynamite. But I do see what you mean. Always love that tournament. But okay. And again, you're bringing up other names. The depth, the actual depth of the AEW Women's Division is huge, folks. The problem is, and also Ring of Honor. And again, it's just one of those things where I look at the other names, the other young talent, keyword young, and the opportunity that is right now at their stage. There's a lot they could work with here. So I'm really hoping for some unique dynamics on this. But bottom line, Feckwell's going to knock Jamie Hitter the F out with a knuckle duster to get that revenge win back. It's as simple as that.
Now, to Nick's point about the good doctor,
Oh, you had to bring that up.
I did say I had something to go to Nick too.
All right, go ahead.
And I did mention how my booking brain had started twirling.
Yes.
I don't see her costing Jamie the belt. I see her coming down post-match.
I can get behind that.
I see the Triangle of Madness putting a beat down to an already prone hater.
And her Brawling Bird partner was involved in the 0 hour where the problem might have neutralized her.
And here comes Britt for the save, only to drop her. Whether that means she joins the triangle to make it a quartet,
no,
or not,
you're going too far off.
it's the proverbial, oh, here's the person she was tagging with before she left coming to save her. Psych.
All right. Well, that's a stretch, but hey, I love the fact that we're optimistic in the booking.
I
Okay.
also want to say that also like having Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, like that booking also ties up some loose ends from like how many goddamn years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten about that shit.
Neither have I, Ash. Neither have I.
Hence why I tried to bring it back, and should make everybody proud that I remember that shit, considering AEW is not my preferred promotion.
Well, just because it's not your preferred doesn't mean you're not knowledgeable about it to a degree. But yes, I'm very proud of you.
Clip that, please.
And I'm sure
that's the whole reason I was muting Nick, because we got to have some kind of funny haha here.
Yeah, of course, he has to bring the haha, because I'm not. Because I'm trying to keep things moving. Nick, what you got to say real quick? Then I saw man, then we move on. I'm surprised we got this much out of this.
JJ, to your point though, with the Owen, it's tough because the Owen this year is May 24th, right? Owen is May. Oh, sorry, Double or Nothing is May 24th.
Correct. Botch.
And then we have All In at the end of August. So we have to figure out where Forbidden Door is, if it's either in June or July.
I'm going to guess July.
You'd guess, right?
Yeah.
And then if it's in July, what are we doing in June? Maybe we do in the Owen Hart as its standalone event. Maybe you can make the Owen Hart like the King of the Ring, make it its own event, and you have that in July. Like the Owen is it's this year with the Owen, it is weird because of the way everything is landing. It's not landing like it was like last year, right? Because last year we had All Out, we had All In, then we had Forbidden Door, right? And then we had All Out.
Correct.
Right? So this year is different because we're having Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door in front of All In, and we don't know where that's taking place. So the Owen is tricky this year. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. And then when is the G1 too? Because the G1 is like you
July.
don't want.
It's always in July.
So you don't want, and that's what I think was the problem last year with the Owen being, or the year before. You had the Owen taking place at the same time the G1 does. And I think with this partnership and how long we've been going on, you don't want to run the Owen the same time as the G1. So there's the G1 the Owen this year is weird.
There's nothing wrong, Nick, with a couple months of storytelling.
Absolutely.
So we can still have the Owen end at Double or Nothing like normal in May. And then you still got all of June, all of July, and all of August.
Close
to
fuckers.
build a story between
Yeah.
the winners of the Owen and the respective champions that they're going to be challenging.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that those people can't have title defenses at
In
the
between.
pay-per-views in between,
Mhm.
but we have time to tell a cohesive story.
Yes.
All right, enough of the
3
word
months.
story before you put me to bed. Okay. Now I'm starting to get a little bit
I'm
ticked.
just saying, it's something that's heavily criticized,
Yeah,
and it gives
absolutely.
them an opportunity to silence the haters, bringing it back to Jamie Hater, who we're talking about in this match.
Yes.
All right, you got a good recompense on that last note. But anyway, again, as far as you guys optimistic booking over a months on end and what direction the tournament goes, wait and see. Bottom line, we're just talking about this match right now. Regardless if someone shows up, gets knocked the fuck out, the doctor will see you now, etc., etc., etc. Okay? But either way, Fekla needs to win if the Triangle match is going to have any merit in the AEW Women's Division. Simple as that. Emmanuel, I did see your hand at one point during all this diatribe storytelling and other booking nonsense. What do you guys do real quick before we move on? What I thought was going to be the quickest discussion before
we
somebody
can move.
turned into a different sub-tangent.
No, we can move on because I was going to do the funny and then it got serious talk. The joke gets passed by. It was already moved on. So let's move on.
All right, good enough. Good grief almighty. Charles, what is it? I saw your hand real quick.
Story, Noah.
Shut the fuck up. All right. Moving on from there, Jesus Christ almighty. If every match had to have a freaking story that goes 2 months long, then maybe the freaking world wouldn't have a pay-per-view every month. Oh, wait, that's the Fed, not AEW. They
I'm
only
just
have
going
9.
to say this right now for about your point about stories. For me personally, not every match needs a story, but they
Thank
do need a
you!
reason. They do need a reason for why they exist.
And there's a
happen.
difference between reason and story, and the reason, those two words are different in a fucking dictionary.
Listen,
All right.
but with all due respect, if we had a little bit of story, more story than what we've had now going into this pay-per-view would have been 10 times better.
That's a fair
And
point.
hindsight, Nick, hindsight. And not every pay-per-view needs to have 15 stories where only 5 deliver. If you know, you know, folks. Now let's go ahead and move on from there, because not every match itself is not a story in itself, etc., as Brian Danielson says. Brian Danielson already talked about the balance with story and wrestling. Wrestling itself tells a story. You want to talk about story? Here's an opportunity to tell your story if Cage and Cope achieve their dynasty one more time. Let's talk about the AEW Tag Team Championships. One of the most anticipated matches on this whole card, considering Canadians, and also CNC, and the reason that Adam Coleman came to AEW. We've seen how Personal FTR made this after their first encounter and only encounter last year, as you saw live, Nick, at All Out, when FTR lost to Adam Coleman and Christian Cage. And we saw the return of the Glamazon. Bev Copeland put Small Stoke in his place without popping that pimple. Unfortunately, thanks to the matriarchy and other shenanigans, we of course saw Bev eat a stuffed pile driver, which literally questioned Adam Copeland, quote unquote, for the time being, and he was sent away, and also other projects. Of course, after we learned that Bev is fine, Cope came back, and Cage, his asshole, came alongside him, and FTR's been assaulted. Not once, but twice. We've also seen, though, recently on AEW Dynamite how Christian Cage has, I guess, literally, fucked their moms. And apparently FTR heard enough of that shit and literally sneak attack with Don Kyle's friendly Punky Vice, took his Rolex, and crushed his arm in a steel chair. With FTR finding an opportunity to take advantage of their opponents this past Wednesday and creating an Achilles where the kill switch might be neutralized. Does Christian Cage and Adam Copeland get the run one last time here at Dynasty in Vancouver? Or does FTR further add to their legacy and top guys remain in place? It's a story of revenge versus a story of legacy. And it might literally end a concerto for all we know. But let's go ahead and see if you all believe there's going to be brand new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Well, this should be a very dynamic discussion, I'm sure, for everyone to talk about here. I almost feel like I should start with a Canadian on this one. So, hi, Nick. What do you guys say regarding the AEW Tag Team Championship match? FTR, Adam Copeland, and Christian Cage with an aspect of what people think might happen or want to see happen with another team we haven't talked about yet. Maybe I'm trying to keep that brief for certain reasons. What do you guys say regarding this? You have brand new AEW Tag Team Champions.
I have CNC winning. I think it makes sense. But not only that, and I'm
According
going
to
to
Jay's
give
sense, apparently.
sense, and I'm going to give you guys some information. Nick comes prepared with information.
Maybe too much sometimes. What is it?
Before last year in Toronto, do you know when the last time CNC tag team together?
As far as just being together in a tag team?
So prior to their AEW reunion, prior to All Out, the last time that CNC tagged together was in December of 1998 against the Job Squad. I think it was an In Your House event.
That's
That
what
event,
TLC was multiple times after 1998.
then Google's wrong. I don't know. Google's wrong. However,
Damn it, Nick! You freaking idiot!
There it is.
The Terry Invitational was No Mercy 99. And that was
Exactly.
Eddie Kingston and the Hardys. Mania 2000, Triangle Ladder Match, TLC 2, WrestleMania.
All right, we're not,
regardless,
we're not going
No
down the
fake dirt.
career.
This is what Google's telling me, okay? I'm listening
Don't
at Google.
trust Google.
They're telling me that prior to their AEW reunion, the duo had not wrestled together in Canada for over 26 years. With their
Okay,
previous
Canada.
match.
Left out the in Canada part.
Sorry, I should have.
You just said they hadn't the last time they tag teamed.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Details,
But-
Nick. Details.
Yeah, you gotta get all the details.
It's
Ah,
one
To
Nick.
help
thirty
you
in the
tell the
morning.
story, you need details.
You're
Ask
right.
your wife.
Exactly.
So you're right. You're right. I'm a botch. But their last time that they wrestled together in Canada was in December of 1998 against the Job Squad in Vancouver, British Columbia.
That's okay. There it is. There's
I
the
see what he's
critical
doing.
moment.
Okay, ding ding. I see what he's doing. Cause the city.
They're winning, and I mean it makes sense for everything that I've said with the way they're designing this feud, the way that the Young Bucks have been integrated subtly, and I think where they're getting at, and I will give JJ his credit because he has taken my idea and he has expanded on it. I can see a Double or Nothing it being CNC versus FTR versus the Bucks at Double or Nothing.
Fair enough. I mean, again,
So-
Young Bucks had their chance against FTR at Revolution, and that's when Outcome and Christian Cage returned, and JJ saw it live. That being said, you got brand new tag champs.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. I'm going to say, yeah, if they don't win here, then what was the entire point of them becoming, out of nowhere, by the way, might I add, the number one contenders for the tag titles just because they said they were? Like, seriously, it was the Wednesday after Revolution. They're like, we're challenging. And with FTR trying to weaken them, it just feels like to me you literally set them up for the comeback of a lifetime. Now, the only thing that would make this better for me is if Brett Copeland comes out and literally pops that pimple known as Small Stoke and takes the Rolex off his wrist. But that's a whole different conversation. That being said, I'm going to definitely say that Christian Cage, Adam Copeland, considering that we may be on the retirement run of Adam Copeland, who might be done this year at Wrestle Dream, according to what we've heard. Let's keep that in perspective. Let's get on the one last run and let's see what they can do one last time. I'd say I'm coming Christian Cage get the win as well. And that being said, we're going to go to JJ next, and we're just going to go this time row by row. So, JJ, you're on the bubble. What do you guys say regarding this?
I'm really torn here, believe it or not,
It's fair.
because while the story seems perfect for Christian and Cope to win this, the Bucks lost last month in their home. I could see Cage and Cope losing in their home country
Cage
to
winning here.
further build to that Double or Nothing. You know, both of the losing teams are going Double or Nothing to win those titles. I could really see them pulling a fast one and having FTR win and retain here. So until I know what else happens on Collision, I'm going FTR.
All right. Well, I love the fact that it's polarizing. Well, Emmanuel, I'm just going to say this. FTR's held these titles since beating Brodito last year at Full Gear. And again, they've beaten the brightest young up-and-coming teams, the Rascals and Busta and the Brain. They've beaten the legacy teams of AEW now and the Young Bucks. And now, literally, one of the oldest teams of tradition that inspired them. Hell, they lived together. FTR now. And again, the last time we were in Canada, Adam Cole and Christian Cage, they did get the win. So it does seem like one of those things now where the hometown team has been losing to FTR. But the fact they made Christian Cage weaker, for all we know, after literally stomping his arm inside a chair on Wednesday night, I just feel like there's a reason behind that besides neutralizing the kill switch. It feels like to me they're trying to make it seem like it's going to be even a harder fight to win. And that's why I do think FTR are going to lose in some capacity. It's also one of those things right now where we just saw Triple Threat, Buffer, Fall Person, title change. With the tag dynamic here, and I don't think you necessarily need TLC, although based on Legacy, maybe that would make some sense in a way. I just think FTR's run has been long enough. So that's another reason why I picked them. But, man, what do you think?
First of all, for those people who want TLC, please no. No. Like I'm thinking of Adam Copeland, how he landed on that cage, like diving. He injured himself. And if he landed wrong, most likely there's an injury going to happen in that match. I guarantee you. And I don't want Edge to be more hurt or more risking his career. And second of all, even Christian Cage, he has a lot of concussions. Please, for the love of God, no. I don't want these two legends sacrifice and almost killed this career for a TLC match that we know cut their career short. Let's face facts.
All right, with that in mind, let's just focus on this normal match.
I know. That's my mini rant. Like that's the only reason why I'm there. I don't want.
Fair enough. Everyone else has ranted at this point tonight, so you might as well get one mini one in. Continue.
Yeah. But at this point, like I feel like it has to be Edge Christian or Adam Copeland and Christian Cage because, like we've been calling this for the longest time that these two need to have a tag team match. They're the reason why Adam Copeland came back and they were training him like they're buddies. Like back when Edge was coming back to WWE, the FTR trained helped Edge to come back. That's fake fact. That's the truth. And at this point, like it doesn't really hurt FTR in the long run. In my opinion, it would be a good story for JJ. I mean, like, yeah, let them get one win at least to make it believable. Hey, they might be the best tag team champions of the world. Like, they beat everybody, even the likes of Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. But for me, Tony Khan is gonna just give it the titles to Adam Copeland and Christian Cage in this occasion for the feel-good moment and see how long they have this run until they either retire or Adam Copeland becomes AEW World Champion. Then who knows at this point at this of his career if he wants to stay that long or not. So only he knows. So.
Man, about to say, and again, he's got grit, but he's also up there too. Just saying. And this was the number one reason he did come to AEW. From go fuck yourself to go find yourself. Now go be yourself. All right, Charles, you're next. What you gotta say regarding this?
Oh, me now, huh? Consider talk about that TLC thing. It was so funny because literally Renee brought that up, the possibility of a tables, ladders, and chairs match to look to Christian and Cole before. It is possible it's going to happen. And it probably will happen. I don't know nothing. But the Cove, man, wonderful. Cove and Christian are now walking into that bench champions after I was retaining here. And that's where I expect Cove Christian to win the titles of Double Nothing, and then, well, all in, Cove and Christian gets the Bucks. There you go.
All right. Well, that depends. The Young Bucks beat Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada, which, again, sub-10. There's no grabber for that, folks, but there's also a match. But I don't think, again, with the fact we know that Konosuke is going to challenge Okada for the AEW National Championship, doesn't matter if they win or lose here. I mean, at this point, I guess if you're going to put the Young Bucks in the tag title equation, they do need a big win. So, again, that's a whole sub-tangent. We might talk a little bit about that match. But, all right, fair enough, Charles. Ash, you close this one out. What you got to say regarding two of the most legendary Canadians that you do know versus Bret the Hitman Hart? Do you think this is Adam Copeland and Christian Cage's time to finally seize the tag titles in what could be their one last ride?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Cope and Christian have like a title run or like a tag title run here in AEW, even if it is just for the short term. I'm just trying to figure like what can we get more mileage out of? Can we get more mileage if FTR retain? Because to me personally, I think they've held those titles long enough. But on the other hand, an argument can be made that Cope and Christian, they don't really need the titles either. So, like, regardless of who wins the title, I'm more interested in see how it plays out and what this all leads to. So I'm fine with either team retaining because I like both teams. But for me, I'm gonna pick like Cope and Cage to win the titles. Because I wouldn't mind seeing even if like I want to how they would be, because it'd be pretty cool because like Cope and Christian being like one of those few rare legacy tag teams who've held titles almost everywhere they went, like everywhere they teamed to, and I think that would make for a pretty cool moment, even if it is for like short term anyway.
Okay, that's fair. Well, I mean, hey, we saw how long Sting and Darby Allin were able to, of course, hold the titles. One night, they retired with them. So, I mean, All right, fair enough. Well, again, I love the fact that I think almost went 3-3. That being said, we talked about the Young Bucks. Let's just go ahead and just leave this open discussion. There's no graphic, but again, Konosuke going to catch Kazuchika Okada. Can they coexist? I'll leave you with that question first, yes or no. It's Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. In the name of the fallen Kyle Fletcher, damn it, you two will work together. But Don Kyle's also lobbied that Kazuchika Okada will defend his AEW International Championship against the Alpha at Double or Nothing, regardless. Now, I do wonder, though, is that more of an idea of if you don't win here, damn it, you can forget that's going to be off beach. But you also want the Young Bucks in the tag title picture. Then again, both teams will be in the same building. Does a win immediately put them back in that, or does a loss make them desperate once again when they don't even have EVP power? So I just want to open this up for a little light discussion here. Does anyone have anything thoughts regarding the Young Bucks versus Konosuke and Okada before we move on to our semi-main here? Because personally, for me, I think they can coexist for one night. The last time we saw them together was, of course, Wrestle Dream. They nearly freaking won the AEW Tag Team Championship against Brodito. Just saying. Last time they did lose, though, because, again, their egos couldn't come into play. But with the idea of, here's the little wrinkle again, Kyle Fletcher being the connective tissue with these two, and maybe they're doing it more for him than for themselves. At the end of the day, both are trying to prove that they're the better wrestler. Damn it. I think Okada and Konosuke are actually going to win this, but I also think this is going to be a one-off, and one of them's going to knock the other out or flip them off after the match. That's all I got to say about that. Anyone got anything to add regarding this time match real quick before we get back to the Continental Championship? Charles, Emmanuel, Ash, Nick, going once, going to yes, Charles.
Of course, I have to say something here.
Go for it.
I expect Konosuke and Okada to turn on each other during this match, and it's going to cost them. To be blunt, let's just be real. This match is only going to set up the Double or Nothing match with the rematch from World's End. That's all this match is.
Seriously. I mean, seriously. I was like, does this really have to be on Dynasty? I mean, you could just have this on, Dynamite the following week. It's one of those things where I'm like, we know what we're getting. What's the reason here? What's the reason? So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I cannot fucking wait for Takeshita and Okada too. I'm just going to put that out there right now. Let's fucking go. As you know. But that being said, Yeah, I think that one is going to make a statement against the other at the expense of the Young Bucks. That's all I got to say about that. But I just wanted to bring that up because, again, it is an official match on this card. I also want to keep it simple for certain reasons. And I think it's also the simplest match on this card, if I'm being perfectly honest. Well, outside this, but then again, you all gave a dissertation, an extra 15 minutes of the future of the outlook of the women's division, and that speaks merit. All right, that being said, let's go on now to our semi-main here that definitely is brewing a lot more than... Yes, Nick, I see your hand. What you got to say real quick?
So I did want to see this beforehand. I feel like before the next two matches, I think it's the Continental and the World Championship, and that's it, right?
Yes, that's it.
So I do want to say, though, I do think we're getting Willow defending the TBS title on this card.
You think an open challenge?
Yes, because there was an exclusive on the AEW Twitter account.
Okay.
And I was just making sure because I didn't want to spoil anything or anything.
If it's an exclusive, that's perfectly fine.
So she did. Willow did come out and say that she's here waiting. The TBS Championship will be on the line anywhere, any place. So I do think we're getting Willow in a match.
Okay, I like that.
So if we do, I'm going to throw out a quick...
We just called Maple Leaf Pro with a bunch of Canadians, including one you were very fond of.
Yes. But however, I think if we do get an open challenge, I am going to name off one name. And this name, the only reason why this name would be a thing is because Tony is a petty piece of shit, and I fucking love it. I would not be surprised because we did see her last match air tonight. I would find it hilarious if Tony's petty and does Willow Nightingale versus Danny Luna.
All right, come on now. Give
me petty TK. Come on.
We're over that era, all right?
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, it's not. The match isn't. But the purpose you're putting behind it is, because I think that's one of the biggest things we want to see from TK. Maturity. And we talk about AEW and the maturity of the roster and product. I mean, hell, I think we're over that petty bullshit. Pettiness does not breathe a positive outlook on the wrestling business. I don't give a what the fuck someone wants to say about that. But the bottom line, I love that fact. I love that idea, though.
JJ, do you want to talk on this of why TK would be petty, or do you want to just leave it?
Because I think the reason I could see him doing this goes back to an interview that he gave earlier this week.
Oh, I was thinking the other situations that transpired today.
All right, let's not go down a sub-tangent hole here.
That's a possibility too, but
yeah,
he was told very matter-of-factly by one half of that interview.
Yes, he does. Yes, he was.
WWE is against the ropes right now. They're losing a lot of fans because of the ticket prices and everything.
Yeah.
Now more than ever is the time to go for the jugular. Go for that knockout blow. And while I don't think Danny Luna is a needle mover like that, it could be the beginning of a combination that leads to the knockout.
Yeah.
Pun intended, considering where she's coming from.
Exactly.
All right.
Let's also keep in mind, and I don't know what her contractual status is.
Whose?
But I'm getting there, Nick.
Sorry.
Considering everything that went down these last couple of days, like I mentioned earlier, with matches being pulled with talent versus talent, Ash very easily could have seen this woman defeat Mercedes a week or so ago. And if her contract, that then gives AEW another tag team as well.
Jody Fret.
Yeah. Bring Spitfire back together in AEW.
Food for thought. All right. Well, again, since it's not official, if it comes official,
But-
at some point I'll put it on the forum. But it's
But
still
Danny
interesting.
Luna is a good shout. Another good shout, considering her man worked Reign of Honor tapings this week, is one SDL.
Steph DeLander. All right. Well,
And the
again,
battle of those two thick mamas, give it to me.
all the power. That's all I'm hearing, all the power. But now I just want to see Danny Luna powerbomb Willow and Willow powerbomb her, and we just get a powerbomb symphony of a whole different sort. But I like this idea a lot. And Willow Nightingale, like I said, has been a very strong fighting champion. She just went through 2 defenses literally in the span of a week, Carl Sheena and Queen Aminata. So, again,
Charles, I hear you rubbing your hand, and I'm not sure I approve of that moan you let out.
Nah,
Yeah,
I didn't mean
let's
to.
say.
That was not that.
well, what is it, Charles?
I'm tired.
Go ahead. Say your
I
thoughts.
hate the
before
fact,
we get
JJ, you
back
were
to
in my
the
brain
program.
and Nick was in my brain at the same time. I hate the fact you both were taking
what
that.
Else, what else is new? You 3 share a brain, it feels like.
Well, not really when it comes to Nick, in certain cases. But I see it happening. I see the
Fair
open
enough.
challenge. Is here going to be crazy Danny Luna? Flip. It was my headphones. Wow.
Crazy.
Danny
Your headphones
Luna
going off.
or... Yeah, I expect Danny Luna or freaking Joey or Steph DeLander.
Yeah, I mean, again, it makes sense, especially if, again, the contracts are up and they are free. We know Danny Luna is free, and she was a force to be reckoned with, and she was an uncrowned TNA Knockouts World Champion. More on that when City predicting TNA Rebellion this Saturday and me ranting. Nonetheless,
And not necessarily contracts, but
you muted.
how many talent might want to walk out after Rebellion based off of what happened?
That cause and effect, JJ. Your guess is as good as mine on that one. That again, that's all very fair. I understand what everyone's saying here. That's all very fair. But again, I'm just waiting for it to be official. But I do love the fact that this does offer another surprise, Canadian or not, at AEW Dynasty and another title on the line. So again, it's a interesting thought here. But seriously, Willow Nightingale, I honestly don't see her losing that TBS title probably till Double or Nothing at this point. She's had quite a run. All right. Well, that being said, again, you 3 quit sharing a brain. That's getting a little bit weird here. It's a proverbial triangle, and the fact you're in a triangle formation makes it even weirder. And thank you for that, Nick.
Imagine we see Killer Kelly.
There. Moving on.
You purposely said that to get Noah's reaction on his face. You said that on purpose.
Listen, Myron Reed, who I'm going to watch John Scoot caught up in the AEW National Championship Saturday. Beach. I've been waiting for Killer Kelly to show up and play and kick someone's fucking head off. Now, if that does happen this Sunday, there will be a conversation. But we're going to leave that alone for now.
Philly show up. Never mind.
Look, Alex Windsor and Killer Kelly. Thank you. Moving on from there. Killer Kelly and Jamie Hayter. Will you stop it? Damn it. Anyway, enough. Freaking go on for 20 minutes of Killer Kelly versus Blank right now. Freaking woman that should also be a champion. But speaking of champion,
it's not all of the realm of question because we have been seeing a lot of former TNA talent come to AEW.
that's also fair. And again, I can speak on Killer Kelly for 20 minutes about the first woman of Ring Cough and why I want to see her kick ass in AEW. But
We
nonetheless,
just know it won't be the bunny.
I'm going to just move on before I go into a little rant because I know why he did that. Get me off Solo. Stop it. This producer is struck on power. I'm going to fire him like freaking Satya Morella was fired. Let's go, or it's suspended. Let's go ahead and move on. Freaking, bloody hell, I can't freaking think straight. Again, bring the body back to life. The only thing I care about in TNA wrestling. But,
Wake
okay.
me up inside.
Stop. Great song, great band, non-copyright. Okay, Jesus Christ. Let's get back to friggin' wrestling, shall we, brubs? John Moxley versus Will Ospreay 3 AEW Continental Championship. It's John Moxley and Will Ospreay 1. First time ever singles encounter in AEW. And again, it's for the Continental title. This match means there are no outside parties, and it goes for only 20 minutes flat. Bottom line, Will Ospreay has taken on John Moxley twice and still hasn't beaten him. He said that quite prolifically last year in the finals of the Double or Nothing All Invitation Tournament before he lost to him and Adam Page. Things really escalated, though, when John Moxley dropped him multiple times on a chair in a steel cage match in Forbidden Door in his home country in front of his family on his neck, and he had to get double fusion neck surgery. Of course, we saw the bruv come back. Well, excuse me. This bruv saw Will Ospreay come back live at AEW Revolution. Lucky son of a bitch. And he has literally marked Jon Moxley for revenge. We've also, of course, seen Will Ospreay enlist the help of his brethren in the United Empire, New Japan Pro Wrestling, as represent, of course, with helping Kyle Newman, of course, assisting him and encouraging him as Curry James become the youngest ever IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And we saw Chaos in Canada when Kyle Newman, Francisco Akira, Hinare, and freaking Alex Wins and Will Ospreay took on the Death Riders in victory, might I add, with Kyle Newman, Will Ospreay pinning the Death Rider. And we were just one moment away from Jon Moxley from Will Ospreay hitting Jon Moxley with the Tiger Driver. It's much more than gold on the line, but we know how much Jon Moxley values this championship. Continuity be damned. We got a match here about revenge with two of the stiffest, craziest mother effers about this wrestling business in their own way. So, bottom line, does it go to a draw? Do we get a new champion? Does this escalate into anarchy, regardless of the result? And do we have a brand new Continental Champion where you guys may have Will Ospreay on a different agenda before this vendetta is accomplished? Let's go around the horn and see what you all think. I couldn't think of a better person to start with than my Shinyan Pro Wrestling fan, Ash. Ash, this is going to be very interesting. So bottom line, what is the future of Will Ospreay, Jon Moxley, and the Continental title? What do you see happening?
For some reason, I don't know why, I just see Moxley retaining because I don't see Ospreay getting a title quite yet. Because I see him go after a different title. Which is also going to play into what we're going to talk about in the main event.
Which is the only match left.
But I do see what your point is because following with AEW is like, because it's funny how you mentioned this because last night while I was at work, I was like, oh, Double or Nothing's coming up. What's going to be the Anarchy Arena match?
Hey, you know, there's a beautiful tradition.
And then I'm like, oh. So like I knew, I was like, we're going to get like Death Riders. But who are the Death Riders going to challenge? So it's like, it's a little early, but they are like leading towards the United Empire versus, I don't know how to do that properly. And I'm like way too white to do gang signs. So.
Fair enough. I'm mixed, but I can get away with it. Continue.
If I may, Ash, it's just I love you on both hands, tilted so that the index and thumb connect.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
Grounds
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm
continue.
not doing that. Because I don't get me wrong, I don't mind the United Empire, and congrats to Caleb Newman for winning the New Japan Cup because I picked him to win, and I'm watching the New Japan Cup, and it got to the point where I'm like, I kind of feel bad that the person I'm spoilers alert for like the review I'm going to be doing pretty soon.
Keep like.
He's the least interesting person to talk about in that tournament, sadly. And he's the goddamn winner.
Well, again, out of spite, kiss the crown and make way for the prince. Anyway, continue, Ash.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to what they do with the United Empire, and the Death Riders, because I love how they're building towards that. And it's like people are complaining about the disconnect, but you got to keep in mind, Will Ospreay didn't say he left the group, so
Exactly.
there's that connection there. Even though the United Empire is a heel faction, they're just doing this as a favor for Will Ospreay to help with the numbers advantage. And which won't be the case in this match. But yeah, I see somehow, some way, Moxley, being the crafty mofo he is, going to find a way to retain against Ospreay.
And I will go ahead as we go arrow order and go after you and say, I agree. At the end of the day, it's 20 minutes, and all Will Ospreay is looking for is revenge. At the end of the day, he doesn't need to take the towel. He doesn't need to drop the damn man on his freaking head and neck, and a Tiger Driver will certainly do that. What this means, though, is that literally Will Ospreay will have Jon Moxley to himself for 20 minutes, free and clear. These two are going to punish each other. And again,
Yeah.
it's their first time ever one-on-one encounter in AEW. The last time these two were in the ring together, it was Wrestle Kingdom freaking 17 over that freaking IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, 18. IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. And we all saw how that played out. So, yeah, I know. The less said about that, I guess, the better. And of course, the dogs now are in AEW, and yet Gabe Kidd says war with AEW. What the frick's going on? I don't know. But nonetheless, with Will Ospreay, this first match being back on pay-per-view as well, and everyone has a different agenda already for the bruv. I just think right now he's trying to take care of old business with the help of some old friends before he moves on to what I think is going to be the primary agenda towards All In, especially because it's going to be in the Cathedral Professional Wrestling Wembley Stadium. More details about that later. But regardless, this match comes down to, do we see a new champion who leads with the gold? In a draw with a bad damn neck, Jon Moxley still leads with it. And Jon Moxley has been the most prolific, fighting, committed, adaptive AEW Continental Champion in this title's history, taking on every wrestler of every form of style you could think of. So I think that Jon Moxley's going to retain, but I think he survives by the grace of the clock. I don't know what happens afterwards, though. All hell breaks loose, but that's going to be the fun part. Fuck off. But I got Jon Moxley leaving with the Continental Championship as well. Emmanuel, you're next. What do you guys say regarding this match?
Actually, no, I would like to play my man card.
Fuck me!
It will not most likely happen. It might happen. Who knows? But I think it's going to be a time limit draw. No winner.
Oh. I guess that's not completely out of far-fetched possibility.
Because, like they both are great wrestlers. 20 minutes is going to be wanting you to asking for more. So, for me, like, it's like for a pay-per-view result, but a time limit draw isn't so bad. And we wait till another day for a result, because like you could build this up to when Ospreay gets the title, and it'll be Moxley versus Ospreay 2 for the title, and now there's no time limit. Like this, we need to get a outcome for this match. So for me, no time limit draw.
All right, fair enough. You still basically have Jon Moxley leading with the gold, though. So at this point, it's 3 Moxleys across the board. I guess we're all Death Riders at this point. All right, well, let's see what the other half of the arrow has to say here. And this time we will, of course, start with JJ. JJ, what do you think about this match? I mean, let's be honest here. You and I and Nick have talked ad nauseum about the outlook of the AEW Men's World Championship, and the bruv was on many of our perspectives. He's back. But again, he's back for revenge first. And we're on the verge of a civil war right now breaking out in AEW with New Japan, it seems like, with two of the most prolific factions across both companies. So that being said, what do you think about this 20-minute non-interference affair where more than just the gold is on the line, but proverbially both men's necks?
Emmanuel, do you want to say what you just said all over again for me, please?
Enough said. Two men share a brain.
No, like legit. I was sitting here thinking about it and like, dude, this is going to be a time limit draw. Because there's no point in Ospreay getting the Continental Championship when we all know he's going to become world champion in Wembley at All In.
Or at least challenge for it. Let's not assume
He's going to win the title at All In.
You don't know that. We don't know that. We want it, but we don't know that.
Noah, I will put it like this. Unless Ospreay gets taken out with another injury that costs him going to All In, if Ospreay doesn't win the championship in Wembley, I will cut my hair. Like I will lose the ponytail and everything.
Someone timestamp that, please. I want to make sure that we have a valuable video evidence for this to bring back up in August. Thank you.
That is how sure I am that Ospreay is winning the title at Wembley.
I think it's losing himself.
Okay. But at the end of the day, there's no point in Osprey getting the Continental Championship. There just isn't.
I agree.
So I see a time limit draw.
All right, then. 2 time limit draws, and still, it's for Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley, Jon Moxley, Jon Moxley, Jon Moxley. Okay, Charles and Safet also, yeah, I'm about to say, remember, once the clock runs out and the match is over, it's free range for anybody to do whatever the fuck they want to either of these men inside the ring. Charles, what do you got to say regarding this match? Are you on the same brain wave as Emmanuel and JJ?
Well, I think I want a certain card to appear on the screen right now.
Will
At
you
the
stop that?
Because
So
look,
glad I don't know that, my deck.
wow, I agree with JJ Emmanuel here. I do. Time limit draw. It has to go time limit draw. It has to. There it is. Thank you, JJ.
Damn it!
But now, so I'm calling it now. Anarchy in the Arena is going to be the United Empire and the Death Riders. But
Fair
honestly, that's where I don't think this thing would end. I might say they might have a rematch, but it'd be in the finals of the Owen tournament instead.
He's literally losing himself.
No, let's go to Nick now. Let's go to Nick now before he just completely loses his brain.
I don't know what's going on with Nick. He's going to explode. I feel like, Nick, you're on the bubble. Go ahead and lend your thoughts to this. Right now, it's unanimous. Somehow, some way, we got Jon Moxley leaving with the Continental Championship. What do you got to say? I feel like this is one of his most anticipated matches on this card, too.
All right.
All right, get comfortable now, man. Jesus, you were going to be worried there. It's like your brain's about to explode.
Literally.
He worked like he was in a padded room.
Yeah, right?
Look at insane asylum.
I'm just waiting.
It's about ready to break out.
All right.
All right,
There's something I need you guys to do.
Okay.
JJ, can you put up the trap card, please?
Oh God! Damn it.
Oh no!
Hold on. That's a trap card. I raise you the magic card.
Okay,
The magic card. The magic card is something unprecedented that may happen. The reason why I say this, there's you guys all talk about Stadium Stampede, and while it's great, we've already seen the United Empire. I have Mox winning.
Okay.
I have this, and he's not just winning. This is going to be a decisive win. This is going to kick off the Osprey story arc of, can he get it done? Has this injury changed him for the better or the worst? And this will lead into All In. Because the magic card says, I'm predicting a return. Who was the one person last year that was announced for the Owen but never got to participate?
It's Jay White.
Yeah, Switchblade.
I see Switchblade coming back because there's gotta be a reason why lately the Death Riders have been feuding on Collision with the Bang Bang Gang.
Oh, that's a good shout. That's a really good
We
shout.
just got news via Billy Gunn that both guns are healthy.
For now, yeah.
About to say.
I think we're getting Anarchy in the Arena, but I think it's between the Death Riders and the Bang Bang Gang. I think Jay is coming back, And I think because again, Osprey doesn't need this title. This title, the only reason why this title is even relevant into this is because he wants Moxley alone for 20 minutes.
Yep.
He can give a shit about the Continental title. John took away Jay's chance at the World Championship. The Death Riders took away his chance to be at Wembley Stadium last year.
Yes.
It writes itself. If they're all ready to come back, how many times now has, I mean, again, no way you don't scroll, but how many events has Jay White tweeted out, I'm ready?
A lot, actually.
A lot.
A lot. Because I know people who follow Jay White and they're super into Jay White. That's the only reason why I know about this.
Just shout out to my friend King from ATW, who literally breathes with a switchblade. To Ash's point, he's one of those very people I see all the time in our private chat. Oh, it's gonna happen.
I really truly think he has to be ready to come back now. It makes too much sense. Again, I just this is not for the title. This has no bearing on the title. We know what Will's story is. Will's story, like JJ said, this motherfucker doesn't win it at Wembley. All hope is lost in humanity.
Damn, that's a hot take. Pretty sure people said the same thing at WrestleMania 39, but that's a whole different conversation. But nonetheless,
John,
that screw Cody Rhodes.
John,
save it for simply predicting next week.
John took away Jay's chance at the world title.
I
It's
remember.
only fitting he comes back and takes that title away from him.
That's a really good shout. That did not cross my mind.
I also want to put this out there. I believe to also Nick's point, John Moxley has never beaten Switchblade Jay White one-on-one either. All right. Well, again, the bottom line, though, everyone's unanimous here. We're Death Riders. We're going with John Moxley retaining. But at least there's a different outlook as far as what the future of the Continental Championship is versus the Bros and the United Empire versus the Death Riders. That was very unique. Charles, I did see your hand. What you guys circle before we go into our main event?
I will say this real quick while Nick was going crazy back for I think he was becoming Stewie Griffin from that one episode of Family Guy. Me in the same room.
Because I thought JJ had the same idea as me, and I was like, hopefully this guy doesn't take it. Hopefully he doesn't take it.
You gotta remember, he doesn't follow AEW literally verbatim like you and I. But also, I didn't think about Switchblade Jay White at all in this equation. And again, with all the returns, that's Blade brilliant.
Again,
all right.
We've already seen the United Empire, and you know what? You have to give those dudes credit because Francesco Akira, is that his name?
Yes.
Yes, that is how you say it. Yes.
He's a small motherfucker, but he can move.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
He's a junior heavyweight, that boy.
He's called the Fireball for a reason. He'll be part of the best Super Juniors. Of course, you will probably talk about that at some point, though, after the tournament concludes, as we get ready for that tournament here in the near future. Again, folks, stay tuned. Bad wrestling.
And Hanari's a beast. He looks like
I want him versus Claudio.
Oh, right. And the fact that Callum Newman is the youngest IWGP World Heavyweight Champion at only 23 years old. And listen, for those assholes out there, I didn't need to Google it. I actually heard it on commentary. Maybe you should pay attention.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, they were really solid. I liked it.
There's a reason that the United Empire right now is a firm foundation.
And maybe when you guys do a New Japan kind of show, there is, and I think we discussed this on a simply when it got, I think it was late last year when we found out that El Idolo was the backer of United Empire, and we came on that show. It was us three, and I said it would be funny if at Forbidden Door you do an Andrade versus Will match. Well, if you looked on Twitter, Will tweeted at Andrade, "Where were you?"
Ooh.
I mean, again, if Andrade
Just throwing
doesn't
it up
agree with Don Callis,
Good.
Just
I'm
throwing
about to
it out
say,
there.
if Andrade does not agree with Don Callis, I'm just saying. Again, hindsight. All right. Well, either way, thank you for that, Nick. Very unique thoughts. And Charles, I do see your camera. Quick, what you gotta say? Good grief.
I'm just gonna be blunt. I expect Will to get backstabbed by the United Empire at some point this year, anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kyle Newman.
Let's just be real. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I see that
Tease
too.
that New Year's
Yeah.
Dash. Tease that
Yeah.
New Year's Dash. Again, if you want to hear more about New Japan Pro Wrestling, subscribe to The Bag for Wrestling or find me and her and Nick and Charles talking more about New Japan Pro Wrestling on a different form. If you want more New Japan content, stay tuned. We will be covering, of course, Dominion and maybe Dontaku. And, of course, we will be doing Batty Bracket Breakdown for the G1 Climax and covering opening day. Stay tuned as we bring you more Japanese wrestling coverage here at the Super Live Studios in the near future. Well, that being said, we've had a lot of unique talk, fantasy booking, big what ifs, possible returns, possible first-time show-ups, even in and out of possible social media-driven pettiness to try and literally go after the juggler, after the biggest conglomerate on the planet that's already driving the fan base away. And we've had a lot of unique manual cards and Yu-Gi-Oh references. But let's go ahead and get right down into it. Let's go ahead and get into our main event of two deities of professional wrestling for what happens when the devil meets the god of pro wrestling at 100% for the richest prize in this company. It is for the AEW. That is such a fucking kick-ass graphic. It is for the AEW Men's World Championship. Maxwell Jacob Freeman versus Kenny by God Omega for the gold. The devil versus the god. The god proclaimed by so many fans with so many names, and the devil who truly claims what he is, that no one is on his level and he's better than you and you know it. We saw Kenny Omega subtly outsmart MJF this past Wednesday after MJF called in his health into question. As yes, Kenny Omega, the first time they met, the first and only other time they met, he was going through diverticulitis. He was at 80%. He didn't even know he was a ticking time bomb with a lifeline, it seemed. As he had 2 feet of his intestine removed and a new leash on life, and as soon as MJF's New World started, Kenny Omega said, what if I could do this one more time as I look to correct the mistakes of the past and give this title and this company what it needs. And after dropping him with a V trigger and subtly saying this was the last chance you could shake my hand, respectful out of the window, we got Kenny Omega far better than 2023 at 100%, taking on MJF. All right, now we're going to get into some fun stuff. Time to get serious here, guys. We talk about the different dynamics of the AEW Men's World Championship verbatim with MJF holding it. We also get Kenny Omega, who does offer other dynamics as well. Whether we see him, of course, honoring what he said to Darby Allin, whether we do see one more run, where we see a transitional. But it feels like MJF is truly running the gauntlet of the all-time greats to come and the greats that were in AEW. And what really could be, in my opinion, Kenny Omega's Champion's Pursuit swan song. But bottom line, let's go around the horn and see what y'all think about this match. Who leads with the AEW Men's World Championship and what's to follow? And do we see something dangerous happen during, if not after it? Let's go around the horn and talk about this main event. And we are literally going to go counterclockwise, starting with the man on my left and ending with the man on my right. JJ, what do you think about this match? What do you think about MJF's run, Kenny Omega's pursuit, and what do you think Kenny Omega's future holds, even with the health being put into question by MJF on multiple occasions? What do you got to say regarding this match in the AEW Men's World Championship? The floor is yours.
Kenny Omega, before he retires, will hold the AEW World Championship one more time. It just won't be on this night.
Simple as that.
You need a strong heel for a big baby like Ospreay to defeat. As much of a dream match, and I know it's happened before, but as much as a dream match as seeing Ospreay and Omega in Wembley is, if Ospreay is going to get his first major championship in the States, you need to beat a solid heel. MJF is keeping the title until Wembley.
All right, then. There you go. And he's better than you and you know it. JJ keeping it simple. Got MJF. All right, Emmanuel, what about you? Again, we're talking about the people that could challenge. We talked about Andrade Aguilo, Darby Allin earlier. You look at the record of MJF, including one half of Buster and the Brain, Bandito, Brody King, Shall I Continue, Hangman Page, who is out indefinitely and has been removed, quote unquote, permanently from the AEW Men's World Championship picture. And we just literally saw him give an eliminator to Speedball Mike Bailey. He's had quite a run so far. Kevin Knight, I'm just going to keep going here, looking at the future, the youth, keyword, folks, youth, of AEW. Anyway, Emmanuel, it's on you. What you got to say regarding MJF and the AEW Men's World Championship and Kenny Omega and possibly their final encounter?
I mean, yeah, like what a title, Jesus Christ! For me, like biblical sense, I always gonna root God over the devil. Let's face it. I'm a religious guy. I'm pro God, but we're not talking about that.
No.
I know. I just like, but if for this matchup, like I had to go with the devil. Sadly, what same reason for JJ? Like MJF needs to stay strong and keep defeating, these legends and make a name out of himself. Like he's the strongest heel you have for AEW. Like it'd be a nice run. Like if Kenny Omega does win, but it'd be a short one. If it's gonna be like hoppitailing a little bit, but we don't want that. We want a long title reign for Kenny Omega. So it's not his time yet. So for me, MJF makes the most sense. He has the most matchups you could do in the future with him. So it just makes sense. MJF for the win.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, Charles, as we know, Kenny Omega earned this opportunity defending his EVP status quo and took the number one contender's spot from Swerve Strickland a few weeks ago. We have not heard high nor tail from Swerve Strickland, though, since. As I said, the first time we had this stage, he created his dynasty here. Last year, it was taken away from him. This year, he's not even involved in the equation or the match card. So, Charles, do you sense something dangerous is going to happen? But regardless, do you also have MJF retaining?
As JJ said, I do see Kenny Omega getting that AEW World Title one more time before he fully retires. It's not happening at Dynasty. MJF is retaining because of Swerve getting involved. Let's be real. Swerve, you can't have Dynasty without Swerve showing up. Since he's been on this event ever since, the first one. Just saying. That's what's going to happen here.
All right, then. Amanda, I do see your hand real quick. What you got to say real quick?
Who early on said Swerve is going to appear in the earlier match besides this one? Someone mentioned Swerve as well, like he's going to appear.
Oh, Darby, because Darby and him are crazy nothing futs.
Yeah, like someone said, whoever mentioned it, do you see this, or do we see this match? Most likely he will appear, because that's twice that we mentioned Swerve appearing.
I would say, because talking about the word need, and the person at the expense he got that need from, that took away the number one thing he was looking for when he became, once again, the most dangerous man in his own mindset. I would say this one is more prolific. Anyway, Charles, I see your hand. What you got to say real quick?
It was Nick that brought it up.
Well, he's brought up a lot of things tonight.
No, it was the Darby thing. Because Nick brought up that dart.
All right,
that kind of threw me off. What the world?
I think Jada's just learning more about StreamYard tools and having fun.
It just kind of threw me off.
I mean, hey, there you go. I mean, you know what? I like this. I think the chat is just as important as anybody on this screen. So thank you for that, JJ, and thank you for that, Charles. All right, that just leaves the Canadians. How fitting with one of the most prolific Canadian professional wrestlers of all time. That, again, Ash, you know much more about Kenny Omega than one Bret the Hitman Hart. But nonetheless,
Damn it.
What you guys say regarding this and Kenny Omega's future? Do you have MJF retaining the AEW Men's World Championship?
This is one of those things where it's just like I'm torn between what I want versus what I think should happen. Because y'all know how much I love me some Kenny Omega. My God. He's like I feel like I'm represented by him, for a lot of reasons. Not just the obvious of us being from Winnipeg,
I mean, I wasn't going to put it up there, but, there's definitely that. Continue.
Yeah, because I would love to see Kenny Omega have one last title run with the AEW title, because we don't know how much time he has left because of the diverticulitis. But it's just like, now would be a good time, because you got to factor in if what we're all thinking is going to happen. Because I love how a lot of us are dead set on Ospreay's winning the Owen and he's going to Wembley to challenge for that title. But it's a matter of who makes the most sense, because as much as I love for Omega to win the title, right? Win the title, and seeing him versus Ospreay again would be really good. But at the same time, that's just what I want. But what makes more sense is Ospreay being the conquering hero, defeating the most dastardly villain AEW has right now in MJF. Because although I'm on that mindset of, if not now with Omega, when? And is it going to be too late? Because that's what I'm concerned with. But it's just, yeah. So just do I go with Omega? Do I go with MJF? Because y'all made really good points. Because I was thinking of those as well, going into what makes more sense going into All In, and I'm just see, the match I'm obviously more interested in would be Ospreay versus Omega, but it doesn't really make much sense going into the lore of All In with Ospreay and MJF.
Well, to be fair, MJF and Ospreay did face off in Wembley at All In 2024, but it was for the AEW International Championship, and Ospreay won.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to think, what would mean so much more for, Ospreay? A win over MJF once again at All In for the AEW title, or a win over Omega at All In? Because we all MJF is super heel, but at the same time, Omega can be a fucking dickhead too.
Oh, you're damn right.
Because keep in mind, when Ospreay last feuded with Omega was a goddamn dickhead. And I love me some dickhead Omega. I just love Omega in general.
I'm about to say, doesn't matter which way.
Exactly. Hey, I see what you did there. But I know that was not intentional, but still, it just happened to fall that way. But
yeah, it just happens sometimes with me.
For me, it's just because I went into going oh yeah, I'm picking Omega to win, but y'all made some very good arguments. So I might have to switch teams and be on the MJF front for this, because y'all made a very good, compelling argument.
So she's on the fence or borderline. Fair enough.
I mean, what else is new? Am I right?
I mean,
Ash
as
over
much
here.
as I've come to learn about you, Ash, accurate. Well, again, like I said, we're looking at the outlook of the future of the AEW Men's World Championship and who should be the person to take it off MJF. It's not a matter of when. It's a matter of who. If it's Ospreay, then literally you're figuring about All In. If it's Omega, I don't know if there's a better stage right now than this. But the bottom line is, with everything so dynamically done in and out of AEW, with the AEW Men's World Championship by MJF, why would we halt that now? That's another thing I consider. Again, he's been defending this damn title on Independence. It's one of those things right now where I just look at the longevity of variety to come with MJF still holding the title that I just don't see Kenny Omega currently getting it. I definitely believe that Kenny Omega should be champion one more time, but it's one of those things right now that I think the devil is going to overcome the fan proclaimed, as Kenny Omega so humbly put it, God of professional wrestling. If nothing else, it just further cements how much both MJF and Kenny Omega have grown since that first encounter on Collision, literally 3 years ago. But yeah, I gotta think MJF's going to retain for now, with considering the opponents he hasn't faced yet versus the outcome of the championship run you think that's going to happen. Because again, Owen, ... double or nothing, ... all in. You have no idea of the in-between, the returns, the encounters, the rivalries, the asterisks of things that can change between. And again, Ospreay and MJF already had their match at All In. Nick, did you not just talk verbatim, or someone did, about people losing in their hometown nowadays? And again, 2 years ago, MJF lost to Will Ospreay in the same venue. You don't think MJF's looking for that win back? I want you all to keep considering that, Mr. Risking His Hair. When you think this is as obvious as day, that this is the year that Ospreay gets the title at that venue. I do think Ospreay is going to become a world champion this year, but I'm really not trying to buy in at All In based on previous history. I just want to put that in the conversation. Regardless, I also have MJF retaining, which leaves the other Canadian to close this thing out for the night. Nick, what do you guys say regarding Kenny Omega and MJF 2 and the future of the AEW Men's World title? Go ahead.
I have a question for all the doctors in the room. If you break your femur, how long are you out for?
It depends, actually.
That's the most.
That's like one of the longest bones in the human body, right? Pretty
Okay.
sure.
I think. Well, I don't think MJF's retaining. I just feel like, I just, if you're looking at the grand scale of everything,
It's quite a scale.
if you take the title off, listen, I am
Listen.
not a numbers guy. I don't care for numbers. But with MJF being the champion, things have gone upwards. The trends of it has been trending upwards. He's getting interest and eyes on the product. I mean, did you not see his busted open thing? Like, he's getting eyes on the product.
He always does.
So, according to Emmanuel, 4 to 6 months. The reason why is because there's more things to do with Kenny not being the champion than Kenny being the champion. And the reason why I talk about a broken femur is because evidently a certain lover is coming back to the company. He was mentioned in MJF's promo.
Yes.
You guys are right. I mean, I would love to see Kenny win the world title. But I think right now, again, is not the time. I'd much rather see him go on a proper tag team run with Coda if and when Coda is healthy. Because I feel like, give me Young Bucks versus the Golden Lovers.
Run it back.
Give me the Golden Lovers versus CNC. Give me the Golden Lovers versus Busta in the Brain. Give me Golden Lovers versus the Rascals. Give me the Golden Lovers versus the Syndicate. Right? Like, I feel like there's more. Give me the Lovers versus FTR. Give me the Lovers versus the Bang Bang Gang. I feel like there's more things to do with the Golden Lovers right now when Coda is healthy, because it seems like keeping Kota Ibushi a singles champion or a singles wrestler is not helping him because he's getting hurt. Love Kenny.
Fair point.
Kenny can keep doing it. You guys are right. The world title is not his time right now. He's winding down. Put him in the Golden Lovers. When Ibushi comes back, they can tear up the tag team division. But I got MJF retaining because, again, the match we all are expecting for All In is Will versus Max.
If you don't do that, I'm going to be really, really, really surprised what fits the billing of importance in the venue and in the time. And if All In, the biggest show of the year, is where MJF is dethroned, or if the devil continues to prove that he's better than you and you know it. Regardless, this is one night where the devil will overcome the god of professional wrestling. And we all believe in that this Sunday. Simple as that. But again, there's a lot of different dynamics of what is for both champion and challenger. And again, between Swerve, between Darby, between Jade, between Ospreay, between you bringing up a tag team run possibly, with Bobby Lashley maybe picking up business that was personal, in case you all forgot, when MJF was excommunicated from the Hurt Syndicate. Just saying, there's a lot of what is when it comes to, again, the future of the AEW Men's World Championship, unlike most championships I can think right now in this wrestling business, and that's saying something. And right now, it continues only if MJF retains. But that's everything we got to say as MJF continues forward on his legacy through this dynasty as a two-time AEW Men's World Champion in our own prediction. So what do you all think based on everything you heard, fantasy booked, thought about, a manual card played? Life points probably counted down to 0, by the way, on all that nonsense. So it probably was an after effect. All the possible outcomes you think that could happen, who could show up, whether it's a DMD, even though he muted him twice, not 3 times on that, whether or not it's someone else that is strong for the subculture, or whether or not we get a little bit of Spitfire. Let us know your comments and your thoughts, of course, in the chat or in, of course, the comments down below. And again, don't forget to subscribe to all the outlets here that you have followed here at the Cibao Studios. More importantly, follow us on the X. But without further ado, thank you all so much for tuning in to what was far more than anything but, as usual here, Sleep Predicting, where we fantasy booked, we outlooked, and we looked towards the excitement of the perspective of the future of the AEW product, women's division particularly. And I thank everybody here that was part of the conversation, including Oofman, that couldn't be here for the whole thing due to the technology. But again, follow him when it comes to Gavin and Oof. And Oof, I do look forward to Sleep Predicting actually with you when your technology holds up. And thank you so much for the meme. That's definitely going to become a meme probably after this thing concludes. Let's go ahead and get the F out of here and get some sleep and prepare for this Sunday for AEW Dynasty. Nick, first and foremost, thank you so much. I'm glad you were here for the entire time. Technology worked, and you brought a lot of proverbial food to the table when it came to predictions and the outcomes and future outcomes. So go ahead and tell where the people can find you. Yes, you get the solo shot courtesy of JJ. You're muted. Botch.
All the wrestling.
Damn it.
Did the ad right here. Follow it. Or don't follow it.
He still doesn't know he's
Wrong
mirrored.
side of the screen.
Wrong
There
side
you
of the
go.
screen. There you go. Will someone please tell Nick to change his setting from unmirror? Thank you. All
So
right.
this ad right here. Follow it. We're doing a lot of cool things on the channel.
On the internet. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. All right. Yes. So thank you, Nick, so much. And again, shout out to Mrs. Ferrantes. And again, I hope to see you on the call this Sunday. Otherwise, I know that you would definitely be part of some sort of after discussion, I'm sure. Again, folks, stay tuned. We cover it live, 7 p.m. Standard Time on Sunday night. I know he's going to be as I do because it is pitch black out there in Canada, so goodbye and good night to you. Ash, you're always batty. Again, you tell people not to be a dickhead, but you're a bit of a, a little young punk yourself, and we love you for it. So please go ahead and tell where the people can find you and further engage with you.
Yeah, you can follow me on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, at ShadowBadAsh, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Batty for Wrestling, where I'm trying to do my best to catch up on all things New Japan.
Good luck, pal. You got a long way to go.
Yep. Just
Ash. What am I going to do with you, my Shinyan Pro Wrestling friend? You got to get up with the times here. I know your girl got priorities, as you say, quote unquote, but come on, the people want your outlook.
You're exactly. It's just, hey, your girl's time management and other stuff is just like I'm not a good juggler or a balancing act person, but
That's
I'm
fair.
trying. I'm trying.
I know,
I'm doing my best.
I applaud you for it. I'm not getting on your case. I'm only encouraging you. You know how much I love your
I get that. I get that. I'm just giving reasonings as to why
fair.
I'm doing so. So yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, Master Yoda is unrealistic when he says, "Do or do not. There is no try." Sometimes try is all you can do.
Damn right. And
you either succeed or fail because you try.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you try, damn it. And that's all people expect from you. You can't say that you failed without effort. Failure is always an option. Hashtag Mythbusters. And
Exactly.
don't accept failure if it happens.
Like I always say to my workmates, attempting and failing is better than not attempting at all.
Simple as that. The more you know. Thank you so much, Ash. And again, I look forward to the next time you and I collab on Shinyan Pro Wrestling, or if you're a part of the call this Sunday or the next time we simply predict. Hope to see you for WrestleMania predictions. Of course, I'll talk more about that when I get to my plugs. Charles, always a pleasure. You gave a lot of food for thought here as well. I love, by the way, how much we got out of Dynasty as well. This was very special to me, so thank you all so much. So I always enjoy doing this, but I also love the in-depth conversation we particularly get with All Elite Wrestling, because I don't think enough love is shown for its potential. Charles, what you got to say real quick? Go ahead and tell where the people can find you.
You can, by the way, believe JCU.
Damn it, unaccredited institution, and you just got out of my good graces.
Follow me on Twitter at DudeOnCrandall. There you go. And
All
believe.
Right. No. The answer is no. I'm going to keep saying no until the cows come home, proverbially. Thank you for that, Charles. Freaking unaccredited university. Emmanuel, always a pleasure, man. I hope that things are going well for you and Arlene. Again, shout out to Arlene Dominguez, whether or not she's part of WrestleMania predictions as well. She continues her education pursuits. But go ahead and tell the people can find both of you. How fitting that freaking graphic. I need to change that to Codyverse right now that I think about it.
Yeah, probably. Like, you can follow my channel, Interactive Games and Movies. I'm gonna be updating pretty soon. Like, I've been filming a lot. Like, I was doing some baptisms, some first communions. So I have a side job right now. It's trying to earn some money while job is being hiatus, being done, and not contracting to take care of God. So I gotta do it on my own. So why not? I gotta outsmart them. Then I gotta try to contact me. Anyways, like pretty soon I'm gonna be doing my favorite movie right now on Sunday, which is Fools Rush In. The only reason why it's special to me is because it was the first movie that like the second movie and the only time me and my family took my grandparents with us, and so and it's so funny because like I always remember that spending time with them like in that movie theater. So it has a place in my heart. Like it's one of like so it has cultural meaning, Mexicans and Americans, Christianity, and so forth. So it's one of those things like it gives me a smile whenever I think about that movie and reminds me of them during that time. So if you want to come along this Sunday, after the pay-per-view, like you're welcome to join in, and I'll try to keep the channel alive and keep doing the episodes and everything like that when I had the time. But in the meantime, just stay tuned.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, for Arlene. ADM7324 at Instagram, and Arlene Dominguez on Facebook. You can follow me at Facebook, Emmanuel Dominguez. I have 2 Facebook accounts, so like them, and ADM7324 at Instagram.com.
Fair enough. Thank you for that, Emmanuel. I love this shot, by the way, with the AEW Men's and Women's World Championships right here. The cornerstone of this company, AEW. This is one of my favorite backgrounds ever. Good stuff, AEW. All right. Well, thank you for that, Emmanuel. Well, JJ, again, before you are literally one road forward to the city of sin next week, Lord help us all. It's always a pleasure to be predicting and engage with your mind and your love of storytelling, and rest in peace to your liver and your sleep. But again, got a busy week ahead, got a busy weekend ahead. Also, damn it, karaoke. Fucking damn it. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and promote your channel first and foremost before we get into the first nuggets to have here at the Simple Album Studios. Go ahead and tell people can find you. Damn it.
Well, you can find me on X at ROWJJ Williams and Casa D18 Studio. No S at the end on the X. YouTube, of course, is Casa D18 Studios. Instagram is the Renegade JJ Williams.
Nice.
Like Charles said, support Chase University.
Never.
I mean, just look at all those graduates and alumni right there. Such an eclectic group of individuals.
I don't like this. I don't like this. non-existing institution.
Make sure you follow the Simply Reliable Studios at SR Studios 2024 on the X. Go back into the archives. Check out all the interviews that we've done so far, including these, except for Izzy, but these three all in the archives as well now.
Nice.
You can find us on Spotify. Just look up Saturday Shenanigans. All interviews except for Dr. Redacted and Jocelyn Navarro are up there currently. Still need to get those added, but check us out on Spotify. And then just be prepared. Like Scar said in The Lion King, be prepared for all the chaos come next week.
Lord help us and Lord help me. Well, thank you for
Because
that.
this is just a sample of what's going to be happening.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And as always, to the City Level Studios, you saw for that trailer during even the most busy time of the year for the retired professional wrestling business, we truly encompass, embrace, celebrate, engage, pontificate, analyze, criticize, react to all the wrestling. And welcome back here to the conclusion of this Sleepy Ditting special that is pretty much your go home and go into our virtually non-stop streaming schedule starting Saturday, where of course we'll be back with another Sleepy Ditting and another preview coverage. Again, thank you for all those plugs, JJ. I guess now things fall on me. And again, I thank all you for tuning in. First and foremost, you want to further engage with me, become part of the Sleepy Ditting community, family, or want to engage further with us, the Simple Level Studios, or be part of Predictions Leagues, it's very simple. Find me if you choose, and then Foster in 1916 on the X and on YouTube. For I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! And boy, is JJ trying to kill my voice as I know it. But more on that here shortly. Of course, the simple agenda, so much more ahead. We, of course, will have Sleepy Ditting for TNA Rebellion. That will be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. And then we will be covering Rebellion live Saturday evening, April 11th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, you all been part of Sleepy Ditting Dynasty. Dynasty will be covering live 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday evening. As you see a small taste of the snippet that is the Simple Man's live streaming Wrestling Week long agenda for WrestleMania week. We'll be back here with Sleepy Ditting for both nights of WrestleMania, respective nights. Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday Night Raw on April 13th. Tuesday night after NXT, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You saw us constantly promote the incredible talent we've interviewed: Rachel A., Brittany Blake, Leva Bates, Alejandra Quintanilla, Heather Lim, Kaya McKenna, and, of course, Jasmine Allure. Not to mention, of course, Brooke Havoc, and, of course, the Justin Navarro. I got all the names there. A shout out to our BFF, by the way, Izzy Moreno, who's already double booked, probably a triple book or quadruple book, I imagine, for WrestleMania week. But again, if you want your taste of women's professional wrestling, look at this incredible all-women's wrestling showcase that kicks the entire festivities off for the entirety of everything wrestling for WrestleMania week in Las Vegas. Follow at Ann San Antonio today on the X. We'll have him one more time this Saturday to run down the card and give final thoughts and final plugs. Get your tickets today or become a member of Title Match Network to watch this incredible all-women's showcase of professional wrestling covering multiple countries and levels of experience and potential across this incredible card that is Pulled Out Mania, presented by Ed in San Antonio. part of course, WrestleCon, and will be on Title Match Network. Again, we'll be covering that live. I also will be covering, bringing you more wrestling than ever from the UK and Japan. We'll be covering Progress Wrestling. That is Thursday afternoon, April 16th, 2 p.m. Standard Time. And of course, Pull That Man, by the way, 6 p.m. on Wednesday, April 15th, Eastern Standard Time. We'll be covering the WID Showcase, looking at the future of the Fed, Thursday night, April 16th, 10 p.m. Standard Time, including Laney Luck, the current WID Women's Champion. We'll be covering Ladies and Out 16 Friday morning, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, April 17th. My love of Joshi is, of course, me and Ash covered this last year. Friday evening, we'll be covering, and that's next week, Friday, folks. April 17th, American Dream Stardom Kingdom 2026, where we know Alex Windsor will defend the Andrew Strong Women's Championship against Saida, and Athena will challenge Rena one-on-one, and Chris Statlander will make her Stardom debut alongside the Babes of Wrath in trios action. I'm pretty sure Harley Cameron has something to do with that. And of course, the weekend, you see it right there. WrestleMania, Saturday and Sunday. Both nights will start respectfully with a 1-hour pre-show, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If we can find what the Spark Joshi show is on, we are also planning to do that as well, but it's not been fully official because we don't know what stage it's going to be on. And then get ready for the longest that might go Lionel Richie level all night long. Hoarse voice, worse than John Laurinaitis possibly. Sunday shenanigans following the entirety of WrestleMania week, hosted by me after WrestleMania Sunday night, effectively probably going to be around 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which of course transcends into predictions postmortem of Papagino, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Monday, of course, that is the Monday after WrestleMania, as we conclude everything with the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Oh, and predictions postmortem will also be this coming Monday prior to City Predicting for WrestleMania. And as I said before, I have 1, 2, 3 more City Predictings to do. The next Predicting will be Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Rebellion. And that's all I got to say, plug, promote, announce, and remind and encourage all of you when it comes to our love and outlook of all things professional wrestling, too. But as always, I like to conclude. There are no winners, there are no losers, there are no bears. Just fans of opinions of this passion we all share. So at the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality, too. Treasure your families, no matter how much they may drive you bonkers in and out of your bloodline or in and out of your internet-friendly community. And just so I'm professional wrestling, too, it's as simple as that. I want to give a shout out to Walter Cruz that wasn't here. Follow him at The Rage of Wrestling. Our Mighty Morphin Pink Power Ranger, Datilla and soon enough, Datilla and Ash, the Dash. They will start their own pop culture podcast. Stay tuned for more details on that. I was on Major Push Wrestling again this week, so shout out to Papagino, who, of course, is my fellow predictions post-mortem analyst. So follow him there at Papagino. And as you heard earlier from JJ, karaoke aside, stay tuned for the Saturday shenanigans following TNA Rebellion this weekend. The weekly moderate conversation Wrestling Matters hosted by the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. And again, for everything you heard, for all of us here, for everything we do, it's as simple as this. Just follow SR Studios 2024 on the X today to get your most reliable, open-minded Outlook Wrestling fix. It's as simple as that. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. As you see on the banner, please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Hit the bells, video goes live on demand on any of the outlets here at the Super Reliable Studios on the straight YouTube channels. Hit the subscribe button. I assure you, the conversations, the passion, the creativity, the madness is not going to let up anytime soon. Again, stay tuned for the forum. Stay tuned for TNA Rebellion City Predicting. Stay tuned for our double watch-alongs this weekend and all the wrestling to come, including the City Predictings to come that kick off the entirety of WrestleMania week here at the Super Reliable Studios. But now let's go ahead and get some sleep as we look to see who claims their legacy and creates a dynasty this Sunday. For Ash, for Nick, for all of you in the chat, for Charles Schultz, for Emmanuel, and for the brand wrestling JJ Williams, I am the Cement Noah Foster because my name is Noah Andrew Foster, NAF, who only wish to continue to remind you to make a positive impact in life and have a good night. And thank you for tuning in to another insane edition of Anything But that truly involves simply predicting. Have a good night, folks. And we'll see you next time here at the Simply Reliable Studios. Take care. I'm handing the button immediately. Oh, God.
Believe in Joe
your
Hendry.
name is
Amen. He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
You freaking fucker! Ah, damn it!
and believe in DHL as well.
That
Or
jury's
even
out.
face you.
Nope, never. All right, I'm hitting the button. I'll see you
Believe
all
in
for Dynasty.
yourselves.
Now that I do believe in and respect, Dash. Thank you. Goodbye, folks.